Drivers, start your engines!
Be plenty of carnage. Full head on them. Wound up. Yeehaw, boys. Holy. It's a junkyard. There's too much time hitting people. Chill a second. No gas, gotta hang off here. Don't overdrive. Just let me do my job. 10 times. I don't care if I wreck the whole field. I'm over him. He's just a moron. That was an absolute bull. Not clear. Awesome. I tell you, Mama ain't raising no. What the f*** are you doing out here? People are saying, just racing like idiots. I don't care. Just let me drive. What is he doing? This is embarrassing. What a clown show.
Did you ever think you would see that?
How the f*** did that just happen? Holy cow! Let's go!
Hell yeah, brother. It is the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Happy Wednesday night, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host this week, Eric Estep, fresh off a warm weekend in Austin, Texas. I am joined, as always, by the iceberg, Jarrett Lundberg. How you doing tonight, Jarrett?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm laughing at the chat because they're just like, Edward Green, oh, Hocevar on the front straightaway.
To go sponsored by gave everyone a heart attack. Jarrett, that blue mic filter gets like more and more vibrant every single week. It looks so nice. Love that.
I don't know what I did. The only thing that's happened since this show last week is my daughter decided to try and eat it. Maybe she's got the Midas touch.
Wow, that's
baby
remarkable.
Saliva making it brighten up for some reason.
New way to de-age yourself, baby saliva. That's what they're writing about. Anyway, Danny B Talks is here as well. Danny, how are you feeling this fine night?
Oh, I'm doing very, very good. It's been a busy week for my work. Won't get into details of all that, but I've been insanely busy, just putting it like that. But been a overall pretty good week for me. Eric, I had a question though for you, if you don't mind me asking.
Sure.
You know, you've added in a new weekly programming you're doing with NASCAR. You and your co-host Tyler Reddick. He's been joining every week now. How's the show? How's the Reddick podcast going right now?
The Tyler Reddick show has been great. We are finally 3 episodes in, starting to build some chemistry, I think. So I'm looking forward to episode 4, probably after Phoenix. I think we'll really hit our stride then. That's been a good time. It has been weird though, every week talking to the same guy. Did not prepare for that, but lo and behold, here we are. We will get to Tyler Reddick in just a moment. Real quick though, I want to give a couple shout outs, a little show and tell real quick. I'll start with this one. Jarrett, your buddy Larry sent me a package. Larry from Chicagoland. This was pretty cool. Apparently they gave away these like engraved, like 3-dimensional coins to commemorate race winners. So shout out to Larry, sent me this Matt Kenseth coin from after he won the 2013 Chase opener.
I remember that one.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. Wanted to do that little show and tell. Also, I don't know if he watches this podcast. I know he's a fan of Out of the Groove, but shout out to Mike Hansen, photographer. I met him at Texas Motor Speedway a couple years ago, I think. Really nice guy. I saw him in Austin this weekend. He was working the race, and he printed out for me. He's been doing this for decades. He printed out and gave me some photos of Matt Kenseth that he took at Texas Motor Speedway back in the mid 2000s. This one was my favorite.
Get this on screen better for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But so shout out to Mike again. I don't know if he watches, but and he's like, you don't have to thank me, you don't have to do anything. Mike, with all due respect, this is an awesome thing.
It's not letting me.
That's okay. Woohoo!
For some reason,
good.
Eric, I thought you were going to say that he got you a frame photo of you at a racetrack.
Oh yeah, like he took a photo of me without me. That would actually be kind of spooky, frankly. So I'm glad he did this instead. But shout out to Mike. Gonna get that thing framed. Got to find some space for it back here in my office. But yeah, a little show and tell. It was a great weekend down in Austin. Love getting to stay in my home state for a race. And COTA has obviously become a staple of the Cup
Not real
Series.
close to you per se, because your state is massive.
That is true. It's still a 4-hour drive, but got to stop in Waco on the drive down, get some Terry Black's Texas barbecue on Friday. That was
You have
fresh.
that in your hometown. Claudia was asking me, why does he make that a big deal? You have that in your hometown.
Not close to me. We got some good barbecue up where I live, but Terry Black's is a haul, and it's not, it was on the way. It was on the way. I needed something. I need
I'm
something
about to
good.
look up the closest Terry Black's to your current location.
Honestly, Terry Black's very good. I would recommend if you're new to Texas barbecue. It's a solid, classic staple, but there's better barbecue places in San Antonio, Austin, Houston, Dallas.
Step right now.
Terry Black's very good, but if y'all are looking for some slightly better Texas barbecue recs, hit me up after the show. I can give you the goods. That was a long intro, long preamble. Can't afford it because we've got a lot to get to tonight, gentlemen. Let's start with Circuit of the Americas. Yes, the Tyler Reddick show rolls on. Third straight win, the first Cup Series driver ever to win the first 3 races of the season. Michael Jordan in attendance as well. He's been there celebrating every step of the way. And Tyler Reddick, Daytona, anyone can win Daytona. Atlanta, that one was pretty wild, gotta say. But COTA, in a lot of ways, is probably the least surprising Reddick win thus far, considering his unbelievable consistent stats at this track. He still had to hold off Shane Van Gisbergen to get it done. That is no easy feat. Jarrett, I'll start with you. Your reaction to Reddick making NASCAR history.
Last year we had Christopher Bell win 3 in a row, and it was 2 through 4. And I made sure to take notes on it. Well, I saved those just in case. I didn't realize I'd have to, the very next year, get the notes of 3 and 4 wins in a row for drivers again. I got to say, though, we all know what Reddick has went through in the last year. We all know everything in the background with 2311. We've talked about it a lot, but I can't help but feel good for the guy. He's one of the nicest people in the garage. Every time any of us have seen him, he's always taken time out of his day to talk to us. And, kind of like Danny was saying, he's co-hosting a month-long podcast with Eric now. So I'm happy for him. But what I think this does, I don't know if I agree with Denny Hamlin that it ensures that he'll be top 3 in points, like all the way through the regular season. But what it does is that it completely now, if last week didn't, this completely opens up his season in the playbook for them. They can go after wins if they want. They can go after points if they want. Whatever they choose and what's best for them going into the next few months, it opens the playbook so much for them. They have a 70-point lead over their teammate, Bubba Wallace, in second. So, damn, 2311's been doing really good. Michael Jordan might be just putting up the money, like he said, but it's going to good use. I think that, we need to see what they can do now at Phoenix, at Vegas, at Darlington, to see really where they stack up with the ones before the season, the preseason that we're thinking are like, these are the championship guys. But he won the regular season title 2 years ago. It's not like this is a bad team.
Nope, they've been there, done that before. I agree with you. I think 70 points, there's no guarantee. And he's 86 points or something ahead of third or fourth. Like he's granted himself now a mulligan or two, where, like you said, they can afford to take some big, bold risks later in the year. Danny, what about you? What was your reaction? Because I know I was just sitting there like, I think I texted my wife with like 5 or 6 to go. I'm like, are you watching this race right now? Can you believe what we are witnessing right now? This is actually absurd when you really think about it. What was your reaction to Reddick doing what he did?
Most impressive, the fact that he had to hold off SVG at the end to do it.
Yeah.
And he has struggled on this particular road course for whatever reason. This is his kryptonite. But SVG still, I think this was his best COTA race. He had the most complete COTA race, in my opinion. He didn't start well. I think that was ultimately his detriment versus Tyler Reddick started on the pole. And that ultimately propelled him to be right where he needed to be. He had a fast car all weekend long. And Tyler Reddick, really, I just got to see how he does on short tracks and intermediates to know how I feel about him being a true championship favorite at this point. But I will say one thing, though. I know my boy Alex Bowman has struggled, and there's been a report of Tyler Reddick being a name to watch for to take over that car. 2311 needs to go ahead and get him re-signed so no one has to even talk about that no more. Because 3 wins in a row, how are you not out of your potential free agency at the end of the year?
At this point, Danny and MJ need to get to the meeting room table quicker than quick, or else the price just keeps going up at this
But
point.
before Rick Hendrick says how much Alex has gone tomorrow, how much?
Yeah.
Well, and the longer it goes too, the more that, even though it's like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think he's leaving, but the longer it goes, the more questions people are going to start having about it. Like, well, why haven't you re-signed him? Like, he has 3 wins, or he has 4 wins, or he has 5 wins. Like, why isn't this guy re-signed yet? So it probably, just to get that question out of the way, I would assume they're probably going to get that done before the summer at this point. Like, there's no reason for him to leave. Team's doing pretty good in general. One bad year, not even bad, just off year. I got to say, one other person I'm really happy for, after Junior retired and being a Junior fan, he kind of was lost and astray for a few years, but my dad became a Tyler Reddick fan and is like, he collects all his win die casts.
Wow.
I'm happy for my dad. And I'm also kind of scared for everybody else's wallets, because now all he wants is just Tyler Reddick win die cast for Father's Day and his birthday.
He's got to get a 3 in a row set at this point.
They might, if they sell it, that might be a bargain.
And how about Chumba Casino also being on another, like, this isn't a crown jewel race, but it's a world-class facility, and they got a win.
Honestly, just to be part of, this history, they've been on the card for 2 of the first 3 wins, be a part of this three-peat. I mean, I love the meme of like the guy mining and then he gets really close to the diamonds and then gives up. And that was Monster Energy with Tyler Reddick. They were with them all this time, and then they left right before they could have struck gold.
They're still in the same team, just a lot different situation.
They're 25th in points, not first or second.
I mean, if count Hocevar, they're 10th.
If they get that Hocevar deal done, that could be something.
Is that actually happening? Is that going to be happening with Cars on Track this year? I don't even know.
It could.
Stern put something about it.
Stern reported. I don't know if it'll be a personal deal or if it'll be like a full team sponsorship. I don't know, but it sounds like it's progressing. Makes sense. Dude's good with his sponsors, good with fans. Off topic. Sorry. Back to Shane Van Gisbergen for a moment. I think we've everyone knows Tyler Reddick, great, doing amazing stuff. Let's see how long they can keep it rolling. But Shane Van Gisbergen obviously entered this last weekend as the favorite. But to Danny's point earlier, this is the one road course where it felt like SVG was a little vulnerable. And even talking to other drivers Saturday, they all kind of agree that, hey, I think we can maybe get him here. He still finished second, and he earned stage points too. But how does SVG feel today, Jarrett? 5th in points, tied for 5th in points, but he didn't get that win. Is there consolation knowing that he's off to a good start in totality, or is there disappointment that, man, maybe Reddick and maybe some of these other guys have caught up to him at the road courses, or just COTA specifically?
I think COTA specifically. I would say if he had like 2 35th place finishes in a row and then finished second, like, this is a huge missed opportunity. Yeah, and he probably would be kicking himself more, I would think. But I think having these good starts, good finishes, being as high up as he is and setting him up well already, he's going to be the favorite at the Glen. He's going to be the favorite at Sonoma. And if we're going somewhere where everyone has a blank sheet of knowledge going in with San Diego, I'm going to take him.
Sure.
And maybe his teammate, based on the way that he was at COTA. We'll talk about Zilich in a little bit, but I think that, it probably stings, but at the same time, he's probably also in his head like, all right, we're going to kick their ass at Watkins Glen and win by 12 seconds.
Yeah. It was the battle of streaks at the end there. It was the 3-race streak for Reddick versus the potentially 6-race road course win streak for SVG. Someone had to prevail.
The crazy thing about this is that it did guarantee us one thing, because we lost so many road course races this season with the Roval going away. We will not see SVG take over as the most road course wins in all of NASCAR this season. I think he can tie Gordon, but he can't take it over this year now.
Well, didn't Gordon already have the record too of consecutive being at 6? And so, or is it?
He might have had a consecutive, but I'm just talking about in general the overall.
I know. I'm also saying, like, though, like, that's also what he lost.
It'll be hard for him to, do that just because of this one track.
Yeah, he did win the O'Reilly Series race, which we'll get to in a moment. But I want to pick out a few other notables. Ryan Blaney one of the best road race performances we've seen from him in quite some time. Drove up to the lead in stage one, drove up to a 7-second lead before the stage end, before they all started to pit and flip the stage and all that. He faded at the end because he got swallowed up by guys on fresher tires, still got a top 10. Christopher Bell was on the flip side of that strategy, the defending COTA winner. He put tires on before that final restart and drove his way up to third. And then you alluded to him a moment ago, Jarrett. Connor Zilic, another storyline entering the weekend. This is his second time at COTA in a cup car. And much like the first time, man, he was just in everyone else's mess. Got dumped in turn one twice, yet still was fast enough to recover and finish 14th. Yeah. Before that second incident, before that caution with like 18, 20 laps to go, the one for Ross's wheel falling off, the 20 or so laps before then, Connor Zilic drove from like 24th to 4th and was putting together the fastest laps on the track, lap after lap after lap. So looking ahead to like Watkins Glen, San Diego, like, do you feel like Zilic is going to win one of those races this year, Jarrett?
I'm more confident now than I was before the season. That for me stung because I picked Zilic to win, and you guys and the chat finished 1, 2, 3 this week.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he would have caught Reddick just because Reddick was at such an advantage, but I think he had a shot more than Shane did. I think it would have been second at worst. I don't know. You know, to me, this year is house money for him. If he gets a win, that's awesome, but just like keep improving, you know, and so to finish 14th, to come back from 34th to 14th in 20 laps on older tires. They were about 6 to 10 laps older than everyone else's. And they also were flat spotted because of the spin. And to be the fastest one on track at the end of the race, like, kid special. And I think, you know, I think he's going to, if not this year, definitely next year, going to win. But I think it's more likely this year now.
I think it's going to be an interesting race to watch who wins first between a couple guys who have some years ahead of him, being Hocevar and Ty Gibbs versus Connor Zilic. I think Hocevar wins first, Zilic second, Gibbs eventually.
I want to give Ty Gibbs. I'll give Ty some credit for rallying, kind of like Bell on tires to finish top 5. That was pretty good for Ty Gibbs. But yeah, no, to your point though, Jarrett, let's pat ourselves on the back. Everyone on this panel, as well as everyone in the chat, everyone watching, let's pat ourselves on the shoulder because, if Zilic doesn't get wrecked, we probably picked first, second, third, fourth, the top 4 best drivers, best cars.
Can I actually take a second to talk about this real quick? Because picks is something we do way later, but I just want to say this. I'm mad at myself. I literally wrote down as my number 1 pick last week, Lane Riggs for trucks, and I pivoted last second to Ty Majeski. Lane Riggs won, and Ty Majeski got second. I was so close to having a perfect weekend sweep.
Danny I did not have the greatest weekend, and Danny put it in our chat with the 3 of us, and I put, this is like a man dying of thirst watching another man drown. Like, that's how it felt.
like being at the beach, like dying of thirst, and I'm just in there like, oh, I'm drowning.
Danny, not to pile on here, but we also need to talk about your guy, Alex Bowman. That was a storyline, especially in the second half of the race. Alex was not feeling great during the race. It was warm out there. I don't know what else he may
during the race now either, Alex, so it's okay.
I don't know what else he may have been dealing with, but we saw like JJ Yaley got out of the car in the O'Reilly race. In the Cup race, we saw Allmendinger needed medical attention post-race. Eric Jones needed medical attention. So it was hot out there. This was a physical race considering the Texas heat. But Bowman gets out of the car towards the end. There's no one else in the garage who can drive except apparently Myatt Snyder, who brought his fire suit and had a helmet he could use. So they put Myatt Snyder, who's never raced in Cup before. I think his last O'Reilly Series race. Did he race?
It was last year. He raced last year.
It was last year. But
I want to say he's raced 13 times over the last 3 seasons. It's not much.
Mm-hmm. It's not much. And he's there with Fox, assisting Jamie Little up and down pit road, gets his fire suit, gets in the car. I think he ran something like 15 laps at the end of the race, like some real seat time behind the Hendrick Motorsports 48. One of the wildest stories. I was with Jeff Gluck post race, and Hendrick, obviously wanting to protect Alex's privacy. He was not made available for comment. Neither was Myatt Snyder, which I know was somewhat of a point of frustration from many in the journalism industry. So we haven't gotten to hear from.
He was also wearing a treetop juice fire suit driving the Ally car. That might have had something to do with it. They don't want to be promoting that.
I don't know what I mean. It could just be they don't want, Hendrick is a very proud, established company. They don't want a guy. They quite literally just pulled off the street to be representing them. But
it was so funny seeing the pictures of Myatt's uniform because I'm pretty sure he had on a treetop fire suit from his stint at JGR. He had on underneath it was like his RCR Tax Slayer undershirt, and then who knows where the helmet and shoes come from. He just had a a makeshift racing suit ready to go from his previous roles in the past. It was
a hodgepodge.
Definitely it was a hodgepodge. It was quite interesting, but props to him. I've seen him at races a lot in the past. Didn't know exactly what he was doing. He was always just looking professional, wearing a polo shirt and nice dress pants. I didn't know what he was doing exactly. So now it makes more sense what he's been doing. And again, like I guess I heard from a lot of people on Twitter. It's like, oh yeah, you always need to bring your fire suit, but why would he dare to work like that? Would be like Dale Jr. Working for Amazon. I got my fire suit. I'll hop in right now.
It's right before you leave the house, I always check. I got my wallet, my keys, and my fire suit. Maybe that's just habit for these guys. They never go anywhere without it. I don't know.
I just wish that we could have heard from him. Like, I know there's probably protocols and stuff you got to do, but like, can you not have a PR person there and just be like, we're not answering that or something like that? I thought it was such a cool story and so uniquely NASCAR. That's going to be one of those stories in 20 years that we tell alongside of like Dale Jr. jumping in the 5 car, and ones like that. Like it's a really cool story. We don't know what his racing career is going to look like. I'm glad he got the opportunity though. And while it didn't make a difference in the finish, to me, that's going to make a huge difference. Same with Brad Perez getting in that car for JJ Ailey. It's going to make a huge difference on them in the garage of like, these are trustworthy people that can get in, get us the laps we need to get down, and go from there. I think my only question with the Bowman thing is like, and I guess he's a race car driver, doesn't want to get out, but strategy wise, it might have been smart just to get him out after stage 2, get some points as best you can. But it definitely.
How many laps down was he down at that point? Like 5 by the time I got him back out there?
I think he was, 4 or 5. Yeah, for sure. I was, but cool for Myatt Snider, cool opportunity. You never know when you might get called on. And he'll be at the track every week. So hopefully somebody can ask him, maybe at Phoenix this week, and just pull him aside and be like, dude, what was that like?
What was that? From Ben Tischler, this will be a hint for random driver in 20 years.
Oh, I'll save that one.
Oh gosh.
I thought it was you mentioned Brad Perez. I seen that he tweeted like Brad was literally getting text from Myatt like hey, what do I need to know about this turn right here? And he just texts him at home like, oh yeah, and oh wait, he's going in. I'd be like,
that's crazy.
That would be. I think I saw a perfect comparison. That would be like you're watching Alabama and Tennessee, and starting quarterback goes out, and all of a sudden a guy who had like experience at a D3 college, but he's working for ESPN, gets asked by Tennessee, hey, can you go in and play quarterback right now?
That's what I love about it. It's so uniquely NASCAR. Like what other sport or league do you hear this happening in other than motorsports? And of course the NASCAR side. I thought it was cool as hell.
Yeah, definitely a cool story. Like y'all said, a future random fun fact that will surely turn heads down the line. Everyone's head turned on the final lap. We joked earlier when Mike Joy lit up in the booth because Carson Hocevar was sliding across the front stretch. Yeah, my heart's still beating out of my chest. Cole Custer gets into Hocevar. I still honestly haven't seen a great replay. I haven't gone back and looked at the clip. Was it payback or was it just weird, hard racing?
It looked like Cole just wasn't letting him back on. He's like, you made your own, you dug your own grave, get behind me kind of thing. That I didn't really see too well a one either, other than the cars behind and then Cole's. But that's more what it seemed like. It didn't seem like it was like the Ty Dillon, Austin Cindric kind of thing. To me, I think it seemed more like, hey, you'd race me this way, I'll race you this way kind of thing.
I will say this. We kind of joke about the Mike Joy call there at the end, but I got to say this. We didn't know about it on TV. So that tells me one thing. He's actually looking out the dang window
Yep.
and calling a race. Not
Oh,
like
yeah.
Daytona a couple years ago when no one knew that Harrison Burton had flipped in the Daytona 500.
Facts.
Good point.
Good point.
That's a good
Yep.
point.
We
Well, and
appreciate that.
that and Mike Joy, I think the last 2 years or so, I think it got under his skin what people were saying, like you're over the hill, all these other things, because he has definitely been more animated and been more on it and lively. I honestly think even though they're not great still, I honestly do think Fox has improved this year. It's just there's times where we will not show any green flag racing under full screen commercial, comes back from the double screen, immediately goes to full screen commercials after that break.
Yeah.
I at that point I was just like, might as well laugh.
Yeah, I do think doing mostly side-by-side commercials has helped with that, even though it's
Yeah.
sometimes overwhelming. I think still being able to see the action is what's most important, and that's calmed a lot of fans down. It's a small fix, but it was a huge improvement. I also agree. I think in general, while I still don't think Boyer or even Harvick, put yourself in position, Harvick, I don't think they're phenomenal in the booth, but I think their chemistry, they've been doing this together now 3 or 4 years at least. I think their chemistry is getting a lot better, and that's part of what's bringing Mike Joy back out of his shell to some degree. Are there too many road courses on the Cup Series schedule? A clip surfaced this week, went kind of viral. I think the clip was from Daytona Media Day,
Yes,
so it's
it
like 2 or
was.
3 weeks old, but it was posted this week. It was
Mhm.
posted by Speed Freaks, and I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but essentially Brad Keselowski said, "Hey, I put my owner's hat on, and the road course races are the toughest ones to sell sponsorship for. They get the lowest ratings, lowest attendance." He said, "We should be at tracks at places that fans want to be at, that sponsors want to be at, that TV gets good viewership at. Why do we go to so many road course races?" That was what Brad Keselowski said. And I thought that was,
fans want to be at like Road America.
yeah. I did this on my show. There's a number of numbers I could point to objectively prove much of Brad Keselowski's comments wrong, like the Road America attendance that was estimated to be in the 6 figures a few years back. Ratings wise, there were a half a dozen races last season that got lower ratings than the lowest road course race. So no, I mean, I think when we had 7 on the schedule, that was a little excessive, perhaps. NASCAR is ultimately an oval racing series primarily, but we're at 4 right now.
Mhm.
I was surprised to hear Brad. I know he's been pretty terrible at road courses, and I see some folks in the chat being like, "Oh, well, Brad's not very good, so of course he doesn't like road courses." But I mean, like Watkins Glen, Sonoma, been there forever. Austin's a cool market, I think, a big city, nice track, and San Diego, that's going to be a smash hit. So I don't really see the gap. I think the 4 we
like
have now are
4.
pretty sharp.
I like the number 4. Honestly, the San Diego one's going to be cool this year, but I like the idea of it being a one and done. I would rather add back in a Road America, because then you got 4 road courses at 4 corners of the United States. You got the East Coast of Watkins Glen, you got the Southern United States of COTA, you got the West Coast of Sonoma, and then you got the Northern part with Road America. That would be a perfect, 4 corners of the United States and 4 road courses that are all very unique in terms of the type of course that they are and the just geolocation of them.
That's a great point. And I'll say I don't think there's too many. I think I've been a little more laid back on the road course stuff than a lot of fans have been lately, where I'm like, I'm fine with 3 or 4. Like 4, that's cool by me. Right. I even, and I know I'm in the minority on this. I've even been like, I could take early. I don't care if it's in the chase or not. If it is, cool. Like if they move Watkins Glen to the chase, cool. If there's not one, cool. It doesn't make a difference to me.
Everything's cool.
Pardon
Really,
the fourth meme here, but we've had 6 to 7 the last few years, and that is too many in my opinion.
I think NASCAR had too few for the longest time, and the Gen 6 raced really, really well at them too, especially Sonoma, but Watkins Glen, even with the COT and Gen 6, and they snapped a little too far with getting to, was it 7 or was it 8 that was the peak?
I thought it was 7, unless there was that year they did the Clash at the Daytona Road Course one year. Did that make it 8?
That was 21. So I
think
well, then they
7's
also had
been-
that as the second race.
7's been the most I can remember, I think.
I think it is 7.
Yeah, so I'll say I think that 4 is a good number for me. And I think, and I agree that NASCAR being primarily an oval series, I've seen so many people in my comments say like, well, oval racing is a niche side of racing, and if you want the international audience, you have to do road course away. And I'm think there needs to be a balance. I'll say I do think Brad's reasoning was wrong. Short track racing has actually traditionally been the lowest rated racing. And I know people are like, well, the Richmond and Bristol races everyone brings up were Saturday nights. Okay, if it wasn't on NBC, Martinsville would be in that too. Because back even in the 2000s, Martinsville was one of the lowest rated races of the year at the end when it was on ABC and NBC compared to the ones around it. So, fans say they want short tracks, but then they watch road courses more than said short tracks. I do think it was sour grapes though. Like Brad sucks at these kind of tracks now. He did a great performance with, his injury and racing the whole way. And
for sure.
I gotta say, I wanted to heal, but it will be kind of a little sad to not see Pimp Brad walking down pit road.
Oh, with his cane. I'm picturing him like just poking at people. Get out of the way. Ah.
I hope he keeps the cane from just year round. Just even if he doesn't need it, he just walks over the rest of the year.
He should. He's got like logos on it.
It is a pimp. It is a pimp named Brad. You say the whole thing. It's like it's like a Tribe Called Quest.
Keep it year round. The race closest to Halloween, he dresses up like Willy Wonka.
I like it.
See, then he would actually look closer to a pimp named Slickback, but
his arch rival used to be the Candyman. He can't dress like Willy Wonka. That's not going to work.
Like there's such more of an aura to Brad Keselowski if he ever wins again. Larry McReynolds saying Brad Keselowski with his cane.
A pimp named Slick Brad. I like that. But no, I don't think there's too many road courses. I think it's a good number.
See, I would be comfortable going to 5. And I actually don't hate the idea of Road America coming back, even though it was not good in the ratings. And I don't remember the racing being phenomenal. The in-person fan outreach was significant. And there's a lot of race fans up in Wisconsin that all they have is Chicagoland.
To defend Road America's bad ratings, they also put it on the 4th of July, which is not really that day into evening is not exactly where Americans want to flock around the television set. So like I'll give them at least that, like Chicagoland might be not in 26, but 27 might be on the 4th of July. I'm like, no, move it back a day to Saturday night. Like we'll get better ratings on a Saturday night than a 4th of July night.
It also just was some of the most like pretty full, pretty powerful crowds I've seen at a NASCAR race in the last few years that I've been going to them pretty regularly. And it's one thing we get Chicagoland back, but at the time it was really a close option for people in that Chicago market. We weren't yet going to the Chicago street course yet. So it really worked out for that area. But again, I like the idea. I could be fond of 5. I like the idea of having 4 permanent road courses, the 4 corners, as I call them, those 4 tracks I mentioned, and possibly a street course. But the street course, in my opinion, has to change locations every year. I know it's a lot of logistics, it's a lot of planning, but that's what NASCAR should be hiring people to do. They should be hiring event planners to make these yearly events be something. If you want to have the Music City Grand Prix in Nashville, Tennessee, if you want to have
You're right in the middle of those 4.
If you want to have the race in Washington, D.C., if you want to go down, I've said for years, a New Orleans, Louisiana race sounds fun. There are lots of different options of markets that they can go visit. That would be something very cool each year.
Yeah, and the comment was just on the screen, St. Petersburg. We'll get to the trucks in a moment. Yeah. St. Pete for the trucks was, I think, a little better than most of us expected. Before we get to that, though, gentlemen, we need to do a quick look at the points, a points report, if you will. For those watching here on YouTube, you can see the current regular season standings scrolling by on the bottom of the screen. Is there anyone that jumps out to you guys early on, good or bad? I mean, we've talked about some of the good, like SVG. Jarrett, you can
Alex
start
Bowman.
us off. Oh, I was going to give that one to Danny.
I'm sorry, Danny. We got it. It's rough.
Hey, we're beating Casey Mears and BJ McLeod. Ain't the matter.
Okay. Right away, sir. There we go. But I mean, looking at like, cause I have my spreadsheet and everything. I mean, 36th in points, way in the, I mean, he's 9 points even behind Eric Jones. I know that there's plenty of time to go. He's a Hendrick car. He's probably going to run 8th to 12th in points, we think. But I don't think being put this far back this early, you can afford as many mulligans now.
He's
just
going to
because
need a lot of stage points, a lot of top 5s just to
exactly
get back to the top 20.
And I think there's going to be a lot of people that I'm just looking on my end that he's going to be able to pass. Like, I'm sorry, Alex Bowman will pass Cody Ware and be ahead of him in points this year. I'm not going to be that doom and gloom. Riley Herbst.
He'll pass Todd Gillen and Cole Custer.
He's got Jones and Austin Dillon right there.
He's probably still going to make the chase, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
If we look at it, I don't have it in front of me, but I think he's only like 50 or 60 points. I think he's even like
45.
I think he's 45 behind the chase right now. Like, that's a lot of guys you got to get through, but there's 23 races. He'll have plenty of time.
This is the one year where Alex Bowman fans are like, man, I wish we still had win and you're in.
I think the question is to what guy's in there. Cause even with Bowman, like, yeah, he's probably not a championship contender, but we're probably thinking before the season, like, yeah, he can probably like look at the old chases and there's guys that'll sneak into a 5th place points finish that were like, wow, I didn't expect that. I don't see how they can position themselves to get high enough in points though, with the people that are ahead of them in there. Like, which of the 16 that are in right now, which ones are we like, gung-ho sure that are going to fall out? For me, it's Suarez, Allmendinger, which I think he'll still be on the bubble, McDowell, and Zane Smith. Like, those...
I want to give Zane Smith his credit. He should have 3 top 10s in a row to start the year. He got wrecked in that same Zillich wreck at the end of COTA. But so I was going to give Spire some credit. And I was going to ask y'all this question because, yes, right now I think Suarez is 7th in points.
He's their highest one. Who would ever have thought that?
And Hocevar is 10th. Like, all 3 are top 10 though. And obviously it's slim margins. It's very volatile still. But maybe I'll ask the chat in a poll as well. How many Spire cars are going to make the chase? Do you think? I know I had Hocevar in. I don't know if y'all had any in.
I think
I had Hocevar in.
I don't think actually, wait a minute. Of course, I kept track of it.
No. I think it was inverted. Last year, both Jarrett and I had Hocevar. Neither of us had Hocevar this year.
Yeah, neither of us had
Hocevar this year.
You gained confidence, actually, Eric.
So I have a theory, and I'm wanting to see if we could test it out. I looked back in the stage point era, and it just looked at top 16 points. I know they race differently, blah, 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 whatever. Outside of 1 year, if you eclipse the 600 total point mark by race 26, it almost completely ensured you being in. Outside of, I think, if I'm remembering right, 2019. So my theory is that if you're going to make the chase, you have to hit 600 points. And so far this year, when I look at the points spread out, Alex Bowman has 23 points, meaning for me to feel safe about him, he has to get 577 more points in the next 23 races. I didn't prepare too far ahead because I didn't average out what that would be. But I'll do that literally right now. So can Alex Bowman score roughly 25 to 26 points a race? I think he can.
That's basically averaging a top 15 finish.
Let me go.
Which isn't easy.
I'm going to go back. Okay, I'm looking at the most recent race results. And tell me again, how many again? Sorry.
He needs 577 total points. He needs to hit 600. He needs 577 to go on that. I think he can hit.
How many per race is that?
25.1.
Okay, so that is kind of tough because guys who got that many in this last race, that's like Kyle Busch and Byron 12th and 13th. So we're expecting Bowman to finish there about every race now.
Well, and then you add in stage points.
You might get some stage points, yeah.
Well, no, that's factoring in all of their points total, I think.
Well, yeah, but we can do it by finish, by stage points. Like, it doesn't matter how you get to that number. You just got to average that number. And that's just to feel safe. That's more, to me, like, that's probably going to be where like 14th, 15th are.
Yeah, true.
The other interesting one, I know we talked about him a lot, but this guy only has to score 510 points in that time, which would average out to 22.1 or 22.2 a race, is Shane Van Gisbergen. I think because I think he's going to win the next 3 road courses, I think that's a shoo-in, personally. Yeah, with how high up he is.
I'm not worried about him. Someone who I am worried is going to drop out is is Kozlowski. I mean, it's actually impressive. He's actually where he is right now. I don't think he'll hang on, but I feel good about Busher and Priest. I think Priest is going to get better as the season goes on. Don't forget he won the Clash. Only other person besides Tyler Reddick to win something this year. But I think Ryan Priest is actually going to end up having another win or two this season. Just what tracks those are, I'm not sure.
I think he can get one. Like,
Well,
I don't see why he couldn't.
I asked the chat how many Spire cars will make the chase. They are all in the top 10 right now. And the overwhelming majority of our chat believe one Spire car will make it. I think I know who they're picking.
Suarez.
Only 13% said no Spire cars make the chase. So it seems like our chat's pretty sold. At least one of those Chevys is getting in this year, which would be pretty cool.
I don't think I paid attention. Where did McDowell finish last week? Because he gained 11 spots.
Top 5.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, he is a road course guy. But if any of them guys between the three makes it besides Hocevar, I wouldn't be shocked if it's McDowell.
I think as great as the start has been for Suarez, I would agree. I think McDowell has the best shot outside of Hocevar. But that was a quick look at the points. They're still scrolling beneath us right now, but I'm going to talk TV ratings and some other numbers here real quick. The Cup Series race at Circuit of the Americas on Big Fox, last race on Big Fox for a minute, scored a 2.06 rating, 3.93 million viewers, down roughly 5% from last year. It was the most viewed sporting event of the weekend, peaked at over 4.7 million viewers. This is, however, the lowest TV audience, again, slightly lower than last year, lowest audience for a third Cup race since they've been tracking Nielsen ratings. So not great there, but for the other series, things were pretty good. The O'Reilly series, over 1 million viewers on the CW, down roughly 4% year over year. The Truck series, also over 1 million viewers, 1.03 million viewers. It was the most viewed truck race on Fox since Bristol 2018. This was, of course, the inaugural St. Petersburg Truck Series race. We'll talk about that more in a moment. Time for the poll, the famous iceberg poll. Jarrett likes to ask the audience every week whether the Cup race was good, great, average, not good. 13% of our voters said it was a great race, great Cup race. 56% called it good. 25% said it was an average race. Only 6% had a negative perception of the Cup Series race. That's a 69% net positivity rating. Jarrett, any notable comments stand out?
Well, yeah, some stuff on it. This was 4th of 6 COTA races. We've been going here 6 years, man.
Yeah, and they did say it was their biggest NASCAR crowd to date, and it did feel a little buzzier than in years past. Because I think I've been to all of them.
Overall, pretty good for this weekend, right?
So I watched the opening laps of last year before this race to see, because that's when the crowd looks the biggest. It was noticeably bigger this year on TV.
Cool.
Like you could tell.
Where I was standing, I tried to look up the hill to see like how many people are on the grass in turn 1, but from where I was standing, it was really hard to like get a good real read for it. So yeah, that's great.
It's also 25th of 37 road courses. Twister had the first comment. Is it positive, negative, meme, somewhere in the middle?
It's a good old meme.
Positive.
Terrible, terrible, terrible race. Nobody could pass. Boring winner again, and it was so spread out. Whoever thought it was a good idea to have COTA after Atlanta should be fired immediately.
Twister, no.
That was like the most negative, like top
That's
comment.
The gutter comment.
Was that the first comment or the top comment?
That was the first comment.
Wow, he was sitting on that ready to let it rip. The only thing I will agree with him on is, maybe going from drafting track to a road course is a little jarring for the average reader. I'll give you that, but I don't know how much further you can push COTA back on the schedule. It's only going to get hotter.
I say just flip Vegas and COTA. I think that would be a good way to you got your super speedways and intermediate, you got your shorter flat oval, and then you go to a road course right before Easter. You get them all out of the way, and you get a really good gauge where everyone's at still.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Noah says, still shaking from Joy's jump scare. Jeez. I like that. SBG says, top 10 at a road course for Hamlin. I got to put it up there because it's in his comment. Hang the banner.
Woo.
I love that that's spread. I've seen like people in Dirty Mo comment sections now saying that. I'm like, I know where you got that. Double nickel.
I know what kind of man you are.
Double nickel. Damn it, Danny.
Walking Dead fan. He gets it.
That was good. Said, I think we've discovered some of the settlement terms from the lawsuit. If Front Row wins next week, we really know for sure. I think that was more of a joke than the tinfoil hat. Troy saying snooze fest, but congrats to the 45 camp for 3 times. And Ripping the Wall said, I mean, COTA is cooked, right? I don't think so. It was actually surprisingly negative on a lot of the comment sections and different things. But the gutter comment, Fishing with Foss said, 2311 needs to be investigated. Something fishy is going on. It's really funny how they won 3 in a row with the same driver just months after the lawsuit went through. They also go on to promote their podcast, which, just side note, don't promote your stuff on other people's comment sections. This just makes you look worse. It then says that we need to see that because it'll show how 2311 is cheating and figuring out where MJ is on a certain list because dude was clearly there or trying to get there. So I can tell.
What a comment.
Yeah.
More
Brian
like
Vickers
belongs in the gutter.
Brian Vickers might have been there, but I don't know about MJ, because he was friends with a PDF.
I'd love to know how NASCAR rigged the fact that Reddick was literally in crashes in both the Daytona and Atlanta races and yet survived by the slimmest of margins. And again, COTA, dude's got not to even, I hate to even entertain the conspiracy theories, but if you're trying to claim COTA was a conspiracy theory, Tyler Reddick has been leading laps, winning poles, and winning races at COTA for half a decade. It's not exactly a new thing. So, but yes, if Front Row wins at Phoenix, yeah, it is a conspiracy. I will agree with you there.
Can y'all hear my door being knocked on by Shugs right now?
I heard it a little bit.
It's like bam, 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 bam.
The force of
let
1,000.
the kitty in.
That's funny. Well, while he's doing that, we can transition over to the O'Reilly Series race. Shane Van Gisbergen did win this race. This was his first and so far only COTA victory thus far. He never really faced any serious competition, though, because once again, Connor Zilic, who was the next best guy, 1A, 1B, not only had a broken brake rotor midway through this race, but then he got dumped at the end by Corey Day. We can get into that in just a moment. I want to know what Shugs thought of Connor Zilic getting wrecked by Brent Cruz. I can hear him purring into the mic. That is tantalizing.
What do you think, Shugs?
Shugs, give us your hottest take. Yes. Oh, wow. He went there.
Enthralling.
Cat fight. That's funny.
I'm not surprised that Shane won, especially with no competition.
I'm more shocked that the chat actually gave me him the pick.
Yeah,
to be fair,
chat took Zilic. Was that right?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, without constant acts of terrorism against him, he probably would have competed in both races.
Yeah.
But
how terrified were you by Corey Day's move exiting the carousel? Because that's been the talk. I saw Dale Jr. said that like Rick Hendrick and everyone had like a sit down with Corey Day after that. 3 weeks into the year, been involved in a few incidents, and you're already having the boss man, talk your ear off.
Stop using my car to wreck the other cars I own. That's probably the gist of at least
about
a little
right.
bit of it.
Yeah.
If Corey Day becomes any more terrifying, we're sending him to the Middle East.
My thing with him is when Kyle Larson screws up in similar ways before, he owns it, and we've talked about that. He's pretty good at owning it. Corey Day doesn't, and I get it. Like, how old is he again? Like
20.
Okay, so
he's not crazy young. I mean,
but he's also he's not old. We were on this show at 20, and we were way different. So
that's true. No, you're right. That's fair. He is, yeah.
And I saw some people saying like, well, why is it that we're upset with this one, but but people are letting the whole Cruz taking out Creed thing go? And I think the difference is Brent Cruz didn't do it in every single race he's been in.
Well,
whereas
he's only
this
been
year,
in one race.
yeah, I know, but even before that, look to last year too. Whereas Corey Day had issues last year that have now bled into this year. So I do think he has the talent. I think there's too many people that know Wheel that have gotten him to this point. that they're not all just completely whiffing on it. But man, it just keeps leveling up and like worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I'll say this in his defense. Yes, he's wrecked 3 JRM cars in the last 2 weeks, but he's finished top 5 in both races. So he's obviously quick. He's obviously fast. Obviously, the car is fast too. But like, I think there is still hope. There's still light at the end of the tunnel. Where is he in points? 8th in points. I'm actually surprised it's that low. I guess Daytona, he didn't get a good result. But I agree with what you said. Larson, Hendrick, Jeff Gordon have all obviously invested in him.
I guess in some ways, he's kind of like Carson Hocevar, but
Hocevar's backed it up.
Well, he hasn't won.
He's won in the lower. He's won the lower series though, and that's more than Day can say at this point.
I feel like Hocevar is him. He's like Hocevar is. I'm trying to squeeze in somewhere I may or may not fit. Whereas Day is just misjudging how big his car is. like his feel like more just whoops. Like I slipped and made a mistake. Wasn't even trying to do anything. I just messed up. Like that's the difference. And that's why I think there's some real concern there. Like, is he going to develop into something legit or is he always going to be a liability? And that's why Rick Hendrick, I mean, he told Chevy to call up Ross Chastain all those years ago. He does not take kindly to his cars getting damaged, getting dinged up. So I'm just a little surprised it only took 3 races for Corey Day to get that talk. I was hoping he'd make it to May or June before we had to have this conversation.
The kid's got to apologize at least to the people, or at least to own up to it. Like I get he did a broad sweeping statement. I almost read that honestly more as like, I'm sorry you're upset. And I'm like, dude, you just gotta like. I thought that the visual was funny on the CW of like Zilich and 2 or 3 other drivers all talking and then looking over at him.
So I was standing right next to them. I was standing kind of between Zilich and Day. And then I see Jesse Love come over to Zilich. They're good friends. And immediately I couldn't make out exactly what Zilich said, but it was along the lines of like, what the F was he doing out there? And then Brent Cruz comes over and it was literally like kids gossiping in the high school hallway, like pss, 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 looks over their shoulder. And I couldn't hear what they were saying. I don't want to say they were talking all about Corey Day, but it had yes, I'm glad that TV even showed that, because in my perspective, it felt like they were like sitting there like gossiping about Corey Day behind his back. And it was very funny because you could tell. I mean, Connor justifiably was pretty frustrated in that.
You called him a hack on the radio.
Yeah, he did call him a hack on the radio.
His interviews afterwards were much more professional and reserved and much more mature, but it was funny being like, he's just a hack. And I'm like, I've heard that.
Yeah. Brent Cruz, 17 years old, solid debut, good road course racer. I've sort of called him like Toyota's answer to Connor Zilich, because they both come from similar backgrounds. Both North Carolina kids, raced overseas, won go-kart championships in Europe. I know Brent has a little more like dirt racing experience, but very talented, very young still. 6th place though in his debut. Any thoughts on Brent Cruz, what you've seen so far?
Him leading and holding off SVG for a while when he was actually on the attack like that, I think we've been pretty positive on him, but that was a moment where I'm like, I don't care what happens. And then of course, right after like the Creed deal happened, but I'm like, I don't care what happens. Him up here on a disadvantage against SVG and the best of the best. Like I am buying stock right now. Like I'm buying stock on him. I like my Brent Cruz stock long-term here. And I want to see what he can do outside of the road courses on a larger basis now, which we'll see this week.
Yep, we'll see. Yeah. I think is he full-time the rest of the year, or does he have to sit out one more race? Does he have to sit out Vegas?
I think I'll just look up his birthday.
Well, double check. He might have to sit out Vegas, but he's almost full-time the rest of the year.
I look up his birthday and it just says 2008.
Yeah,
2008. Jesus.
March 30th, 2000. Hold on. We did this
NASCAR 09 even out yet?
We did those
2008.
How do you think I feel, man? Lord. We started this show 10 years after. He was less than 10 years old when we started this thing, and we're now watching him in the O'Reilly series.
What was the birthday again?
March 30th. I'm looking at what race was run closest to cup wise to March 30th. I think it was like they were like close to the McDowell Texas flip, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my
But
god,
yeah.
kid was born after
Oh
the
my
wing.
God.
The wing was
No.
already the COT wing was already
He-
a thing, and this kid wasn't even a
He
thought
was
yet.
born on the day of the first Martinsville race that year. Okay, do you guys remember who the winner was by chance on that one? Since it's
No.
how about
Jeff
you,
Gordon.
Danny?
What-
Jeff,
which one?
Spring Martinsville 2008. Who won the race the day that Brent Cruz was born? So Jeff Gordon is Eric's
I'm
guess.
trying to remember. I
I'm
don't
gonna
remember.
guess Greg Biffle.
Okay. So Danny, your guess of Biffle, where did he finish in this race? It wasn't a win.
Was it Kyle Busch?
No.
It's
So
probably
Biffle finished
Hamlin. Wasn't it? I
20th.
think it's Hamlin actually.
Hamlin won, Jeff Gordon in second. I remember that race because Junior led the most laps, and back then I had NASCAR Hot Pass. So it was like watching him fall like a rock from like third and competing for the win to sixth at the end. It was just like, "Ugh!" But yeah, I remember where I was when he was born.
I was
So,
about to say, Mrs.
Brent-
Cruz was somewhere going, "Argh!" at the same
Brent
time.
Cruz, Brent Cruz was 72 days old when NASCAR 09 released.
Jeez
Dude,
Louise.
This
All
is
right.
only going to get worse.
All right.
the
This is
longer
the
we go.
Unk Power Hour. We got to move on. Yeah, congratulations, Shane Van Gisbergen. Nice win. Truck race, St. Petersburg, serving as a build up to the IndyCar season opener. This was one of the highlights of the weekend. It was an early start on Saturday, but I thought it was a pretty entertaining, legit race. Lane Riggs, Ty Majeski down the stretch. I love how Ty like threw it away and then battle back to make it interesting. But Lane Riggs gets the win. Dario Franchitti, got to give him a shout out. First time racing really anything in over a decade.
Still got it.
Awesome.
And he was in the top 10 almost all day before I think a mechanical issue knocked him out or knocked him back at the very least. But with like Jimmy Johnson on the pit box, that was so cool. That looked like a lot of fun. What do you guys think?
Come back. It sounds like he wants to come back and like do more. And I'm like,
Hinchcliffe,
let's do it.
Hinchcliffe top 10, I think. Was he 10th at the end? I think he got back to the top 10.
Yeah, he was 10th. This is the second
He could
time.
probably do San Diego.
This is the second time out of the triple headers where I've said the truck race to me was my favorite race of the weekend. Like just quality wise, I thought it was going to be a complete cluster truck as it's been coined.
I like that.
I thought we were going to see like a Phoenix 2.0, that one Daytona race that ran 52% under caution. I'm thinking like, no, they have like 8 minutes of track time going into this race. You know, the honest to God, the worst part of the day was Michael Waltrip doubling down on calling an area of the track twink. And I love like they're in the booth like, Michael, I think it's a kink. No, it's a turn and a kink. So it's a twink. And it's like, Michael.
Oh my God, no.
Stop it.
Stop talking.
Townsend Bell, though.
Bad enough
in the
you
booth.
might be in those
He was great.
things.
Yeah, Townsend Bell brought a lot of energy to the booth. I actually thought he enhanced Jamie Little's performance in the booth. It's like having someone who is intense, a very active participant, having him to bounce off of almost seemed to raise Jamie Little's game a bit as well. So everyone but Michael, good job. Good job.
Lane Riggs up. Majeski, though, man, he sold. He had it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he overshot and like I loved that race. If you can't tell, I had a blast. I just wish that either they had moved this, they had actually started at the start of the window and not 35 minutes in, or had cut a few laps so it didn't overlap with the O'Reilly race. Like I was going off air for my post race as the O'Reilly race was going past the start finish line to hit the green.
Oh my God. Do not pin this, but just look at what the Braden bunch put in the chat.
See, now you're tempting me. Where's that? Is it higher up, lower? It's not on my end.
It's fairly recent for me. It's above something that Spencer said.
I'm looking at I gotta go to
the Braden Bunch 58.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
fact.
I'm not gonna repeat that though.
Yeah, do not repeat that, but I cannot believe that that's going there.
It's not pumping up on my end.
It's okay. I'll tell you afterwards what it says.
Probably for the best. But literally the truck race ended, and within like 10 minutes, the O'Reilly race. Like I went out and sat in the stands for the start of the O'Reilly race, and I'm like sitting there, like I was like, "Is the truck race gonna end? Truck race are gonna end?" Finally, it ends. I'm like, pack my bags and walk because it's a long walk to the grandstands from the COTA Media Center. So I was like, got a haul. But it was good. It was a great
I
race.
gotta say, how about Ben Rhodes? Where did he come from this year?
Yeah, fast at Atlanta. I don't recall Daytona, but I know he's fast at Atlanta, obviously. Great again here at St. Pete. Yeah, a little mini resurgence. I mean, all of Thor Sport, because Thor Sport last year, they were good, but didn't win much or like hardly at all. And then this year, I mean, Ty Majeski looks like a contender right off the bat. Ben Rhodes is a contender right off the bat. Like that's just all of Thor Sport seems to maybe a clean slate, no more Matt Crafton. It's the team has a fresh start. I mean, I have no issues with Crafton, but I feel like he was over the hill his last couple of years. So I don't know. Maybe this is just a newly revamped Thor Sport, and they're riding that momentum right now.
I'll say to kind of close out on the truck side, I hope they come back next year. That was
Yes.
awesome. It sounded
agree.
like from what David was saying, and I trust David on gauging how
David
the fans
Land,
are
yes.
thinking. Yeah, that IndyCar fans really liked it, but they could not wrap their minds around why they were throwing cautions for stages.
Fair enough. Stages at road courses,
Yeah.
even stage race defenders are like about. So
Maybe that's
Fair
what
enough.
NASCAR really needs to like get a grasp on is okay, this is truly your casual audience. See what they think about all this.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe that was their litmus test. They failed. The rest of the race was great though. Would love to see trucks at St. Pete. I think that I'm just really surprised by how good the racing was. And one of my favorite comments someone made over the weekend was like, man, I thought the trucks would be the cluster truck, as Jarrett said, but it was IndyCar that wrecked on lap 1.
Yeah.
So,
Like they've been here before, man.
and yep.
Daniel
shout
Dye
out.
was right. Do you saw what he said like a month ago? He's like, we're gonna show him what the best race of the weekend will be. And I saw that and I was just like, oh, dude,
They
this
backed
is
it up.
like, and then I was like, damn, the trucks are good this year, man.
And we get IndyCar and NASCAR back together for the only other time this year.
Yeah, now you get Cup, O'Reilly, and IndyCar at Phoenix. So it's fun. A few different
If it wasn't for
flavors
the
to start
fact
the
that
year.
if it wasn't for the fact that it's like IndyCar's last race of the year, I think Nashville, IndyCar, and NASCAR would be fun too at the same weekend.
At the Oval, the Super
Yeah,
Speedway.
at the Oval.
The Super Speedway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are right at the top of the hour, 1 hour into NWP, which means it's time for our first Super Chat stage break. Sorry, we do have stage cautions here on the podcast. Can't do anything about it. We'll start here before the show tonight. Joshua Boston, a couple of Super Chats back-to-back. Really appreciate the support. Says the 45 team with Reddick and MJ is on fire this year. Hopefully they can improve throughout the year, not make so many mistakes. And I think Cletus is getting set up for failure with the O'Reilly schedule. We're going to get to Cletus in just a moment. Don't you worry. And then he also says, can Bowman get out of last place? Will Reddick go for 4 in a row? Or will someone else win this weekend? Answers on Sunday in the Straight Talk 500 at Phoenix, only on FS1 and MRN. I did my best like TV commercial voice there for Joshua. From Anthony Ruggiero says, Eric, type 1 if you know what tow car is. Tow, I guess, is in like a tow. I had to look it up because I've seen it. I've heard it. It looks like it's like a NR 2003 league or series or iRacing series on YouTube. I'm not sure. I guess. Shout out. Scott McNew, back-to-back Super Chats. Hope all is well with you guys. Wanted to comment about Cletus. As much as I'm happy for him, I feel he needs more starts in the lower series, especially since his truck debut didn't go so well. I agree, Scott. Not to spoil my takes here in just a few moments, but we will get to Cletus. And yeah, I agree. Rooting for him. But boy, he's out in the deep end. Also from Scott says, Eric, hope you enjoyed David Montgomery on the Texans. You're getting a good one.
Woohoo! He's not in the NFC North finally.
We gave up a lot to get him. I hope he's still got some life in those legs. That's all I can say.
He's pretty good, man. He's pretty good.
Fred Dog 81. Where did all this recent road course hate come from? And do Brad and others realize it plays into non-fans' ignorant idea that NASCAR only drives in circles? It is a stereotype we've all had a hard time bucking over the years. Fun fact, or not a fun fact, interesting story. At the track this weekend, I met this couple. They're probably about our age. It was a husband and wife, probably in their early 30s, maybe late 20s. And they said that they flew out to Austin from Atlanta because they wanted to watch a road course race. In my head, I'm like, you could have gone to Atlanta 1 week ago. It was in your backyard. That's like the hottest ticket on the schedule. No, they wanted to see a road course and maybe wanted to hang out in Austin and eat some Terry Blacks. I don't know. But I thought that was really interesting that at least this couple went out of their way to seek a road course. So anyway, for whatever that's worth. From Napa Racing fan, Tyler Reddick wants to be the Alex Palou of NASCAR. He is well on his way. thus far this year from Robbie Racer. NASCAR's hell yeah tour push is great, but with Cletus's huge popularity, can NASCAR fully buy in? I'm rooting for him, but will the RCR signing backfire, and does he deserve the ride? I didn't realize all these super chats are going to be about Cletus, guys. We maybe should have opened the show with the Cletus conversation. We'll get to it in just a moment.
Welcome to the Cletus Weekly Podcast.
Thank you for the question, Robbie. We will answer that momentarily. PacMac79, it took Waldo and Carmen Sandiego to find Myatt. Fun reference. Waldo's usually the one being found, not doing the finding, though. Just got to get that straight. Snap back to reality says, could you guys read my next few messages? And then I don't think he left any few messages. If you got something to say.
I think it was way earlier in the show, and then we didn't say that, or regular messages, unfortunately.
Napa Racing Fan says, what's weirder, Austin, Texas, Watkins Glen in May, Dover All-Star Race and format, or that Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network will be owned by the same company? Oh, that one's
actually not that weird to me. I think it should have been done a long time ago.
I don't know, all this media conglomeration. It's too much. That being said, Watkins Glen in May, I don't know. I'm still having a hard time getting used to that idea, honestly. That's pretty weird.
I don't like the Dover All-Star anything at this point.
No.
I'll do a couple more here. Go Snake Man. I predict Kyle Busch will eventually drive the 2, which would be pretty cool, and a powerhouse team, and hope Casey Kane can drive a Ram truck this year. He was
rumored driving a Ram truck would be awesome. And if he does drive a Ram truck, it's got to be a red Ram truck.
Yeah. Started his career with Dodge.
Heck, get Evernham permission to run that font even.
Please. Andrew Waring says Road America races were brutal watches. Yeah, I don't recall them being the most compelling on TV, but they're fun in person. The kink down the backstretch. Don't let Mikey get a hold of it, but the kink was always a fun viewing spot. Ryan Idius, 3 road courses is too few, 7 is too much. I agree. I think 4 to 5.
If I read RC like that, I want to say Richard Childress. 3 Richard Childress is too few.
Too much. Oh, yeah. No, sorry. All right, we'll do 3 more here. Fred Dog 81, just for Jarrett's Boondocks reference. You were doing that earlier. Where we at? Andrew, Ty gets a lot of crap, but he's the highest JGR car in the points. He is right now. He is 17th. None of the Gibbs cars are off to great point starts, unfortunately. And then Jeffrey King says, Bowman is my 4th favorite as a Hendrick fan. It pains me he is struggling. Wait, hold on. Bowman is my 4th favorite as a Hendrick fan. So he's your least favorite Hendrick driver? Is that what I'm reading that? Anyway, it pains me he's struggling. If he wins this year but misses the chase, will he get an extension?
Well, that doesn't actually mean that
there's 5 Hendrick drivers now.
Well,
Corey Day.
You're including Corey Day. It's too early.
This doesn't even mean that the other Hendrick drivers are necessarily in that top 4 per se.
I guess that's
Jeff,
true.
Jimmy, and Junior.
Just like Paul Menard is my 3rd favorite driver of all time.
Who's your 2nd favorite, Danny?
Wait, I didn't know that.
Changes every week.
Hey, I think we should do one more just because.
Yes, we should do one more. Oh, yeah.
That's
Wow. Very generous, as always, Justin Drake. Really appreciate it. He says, the St. Pete Only Bulls 150 was a great race to watch from the front stretch Saturday. I'd love to see Xfinity come next year. Definitely was a success for trucks. Funniest moment was 2 kids got rejected entry because they had vapes and threw a fit. Not in my wholesome, family-friendly, clean air motorsports race. How dare you pollute the air
with fans that are longing for the days of Winston.
Look here, kid. I came here to breathe toxic race fumes, not that toxic vape.
Exactly. I will say one gripe I saw some fans had with COTA again this year, and I think it's a COTA thing. It's not most tracks, but they are funnier about like bringing in alcohol and beer compared to a lot of other tracks. You can bring coolers in. COTA, as far as I can tell, kind of a no-go on that front. So that is kind of a bummer. But I'm glad you had fun out there, Justin. Glad you had fun at St. Petersburg. Looked like a cool event. Hopefully it becomes a mainstay. That was our first Super Chat stage break of the night. This is actually no joke. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for the county I live in here in North Texas. Oh. So I've seen some flashes of lightning out the window behind me here. That means it's time for the actual lightning round on NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Jarrett, what do we have in your neck of the woods?
A little bit of stuff here. So NASCAR Full Speed is moving to Prime this year. It'll be 1 episode, and it airs about the Daytona 500, according to Adam Stern. Monster, of course, signing a deal to sponsor Carson Hocevar, whether it's personal or the car. We're not sure just yet. We also,
TBD.
by the way, have the NWP channel, and it'll be connected to this stream afterwards. So if you want a hub where on the day after, if you miss it, you can always find what channel we were on, that's the one. Speaking of channels we're on, next week we'll be on my channel, March 11th.
Hey,
Yeah, should be a lot of fun.
be there.
But outside of that, guys, I think that's it. I think there's pretty short lightning round this week.
That's good because I think we'll have a good time with this next conversation. Definitely going to spend some time on this first headline. Got a couple super chats asking our takes on the latest Cletus McFarland news. Just quickly to break things down in case you've been living under a rock this afternoon. Cletus McFarland, YouTuber with over 4 million subscribers, real name Garrett Mitchell, announced today that he will be making up to 3 O'Reilly Series starts this year for Richard Childress Racing. He's expected to make his series debut at Rockingham next month. And if that goes well, they're hoping to get approval to race Talladega and then Daytona later this year. But yes, Cletus, who has made 5, count on one hand, 5 ARCA starts, 1 truck start a couple weeks ago, didn't go great, lasted about 5 laps. That guy is now going big league O'Reilly Series racing for one of the top teams, the defending championship team in the O'Reilly Series garage. I guess you can kind of tell by the tone of my voice where I'm going with this, how I feel about this. But Jarrett, I can tell you're chomping at the bit. I want you to kick us off. What do you make of this wild news this afternoon?
I wish him good luck because he's gonna need it.
Yeah.
I like Cletus too. And I already know that some people that are big supporters of his probably aren't going to be the most thrilled by me saying this, but this is not a smart play in my opinion. I want him to succeed in NASCAR, and the thing to succeed in NASCAR with is seat time, and this technically is that. The issue is, like we said, he's been a decent ARCA driver so far. Has been decent, right? Like he hasn't put his foot in his mouth, like outside of maybe I'd say the Charlotte deal, other crashes he's been in that he's been collecting. Like he's held his own, and I do think that putting him in trucks was probably a smart route. Maybe not Daytona right away, but putting him in a truck race, I think, and more truck races and moving him up that way. Putting him in an O'Reilly race at a track as difficult as Rockingham. It's just, it feels like a recipe for disaster. My thing is, I'm not upset that Cletus has been sort of approved to do all this. I'm more upset with the approval process in general, because we just had this conversation 2 weeks ago about a driver who has had a lot more seat time in stock car racing, who has done a lot more early on to get to that point, and generally is not viewed as the greatest driver in Natalie Decker. And Natalie Decker...
Might as well read this current super chat we got right now.
I mean, Natalie Decker is she has more experience, and you could argue might be a better driver. I mean, yeah, it hasn't been great for her, but Cletus McFarland also does not even have 7, 6, 5 laps, whatever it is, in trucks, and that's it. He hasn't completed a stage,
and he hit the wall in his Rockingham truck test.
Yeah.
There are some other truck races coming up, including Rockingham that same week, and I think he should also see about getting a ride for, if possible. Hop in on Lee's truck, hop into Rockingham race. I would say hop in Darlington, but that's a very tricky track. I don't know if I'd recommend that one per se, but hop in Rockingham, hop in Bristol the very next week in a truck, and that would be, a little bit more to add into what he does. And if he really then wants to run on a fairly bigger track before we would get to Talladega, there is a truck race at Texas Motor Speedway.
Oh, Texas is probably the sketchiest track on the schedule. I don't know, but my thing with Cletus, again, I'm a fan of his. I want to see him do well. He seems like a genuine guy, a good dude. He's self-made. I love the YouTube empire he has built. His enthusiasm for trying to go NASCAR racing is awesome. It resonates with the average fan. That's all great. I am genuinely rooting for him, but this feels like there's more emphasis being put on the destination than the actual journey. Like I feel like everyone, Cletus, NASCAR, Richard Childress Racing, it feels like everyone is just trying to cash in on this Cletus phenomenon as quickly as possible. When in reality, I think it would be far more interesting and potentially far more enriching for everyone if we were to follow Cletus on an actual journey of, hey, struggling in ARCA. Then maybe after a year or so, he's running top 5, top 10 in ARCA. Maybe he has a shot to win one of these Daytona races at some point. Then he goes to trucks, grinds in trucks for a year or two, see him develop, go from a back marker to a top 10 guy. That would be far more fulfilling. The journey would be so much more entertaining to watch than simply the destination of, hey, look at this gimmick. Cletus is in a truck. Whoa. It lasted 5 laps. That was one of the most disappointing starts I've ever seen. I think coming into that race, that was the most highly anticipated truck race in a long time. Ram, Tony Stewart, sure. Cletus was a big reason why he wiped himself out on lap 5. Like, and that's what's going to happen if they keep rushing him into situations he's not fully prepared for. And I feel this Rockingham plus O'Reilly deal very much fits into that category. Like he's probably going to qualify for the race. I doubt they'll have over 38 entries or whatever. But he's going to start in the back. He's probably going to run in the back, probably going to get lapped a couple of times. And then at some point, he's probably going to feel a little comfortable and think, I can get more out of this car. And he's going to wipe himself out. And hopefully he doesn't take someone else out with it. But that's almost exactly, I'm predicting right now, that's how that race is going to go. And the only time cameras are going to be on him is, once when the CW decides to point and say, hey, get a load of this. Cletus is in the field. And then again, when there's an incident. And maybe when the leaders lap him. I guess he'll also be on camera then.
I hope nothing goes wrong for him at Rockingham, because it's kind of crazy that for RCR and Rockingham, they went from having Casey Kane in a HendrickCars.com Chevrolet last year to now Cletus McFarland, and you're hoping and praying he just finishes the race.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him, but I want to see him actually hone his stock car racing craft. And I don't think NASCAR is interested in being patient. I don't think the race teams like RCR are interested in being patient with him.
The media
and honestly, I don't think Cletus is all that patient either. I mean, he's the guy who a year and a half ago said, I'm going to go run the Daytona 500 before he realized, hey, you can't just go do that. Like, I love the enthusiasm. He's bold, he's brave, all that good stuff. But also, I just feel like he keeps biting off a little more than he can chew. And he keeps getting hit with reality checks, whether it's, oh, hey, you have to run ARCA, or hey,
a 2-year deal with
kind of
RCR.
Crash in a truck race. Like
I kind of agree with Bailey Reichert here, because Frankie Muniz is a good example of someone who has a huge name behind him and a lot of major notoriety of his past, but he's riding out, he's grinding, he ain't getting big opportunities. He's taking lower tier equipment, but he's doing what he can.
No, and I have a ton of respect for him doing it that way. And I want to look at where Frankie's at in the standings right now, because at least he's finished a couple of races this year. I mean, when the equipment doesn't fail him.
It's a 2-year deal. It just, and I get people are like, oh, this was already, they said they were going to do this. Like, no, they didn't say they were going to do this soon. So like that, I'm sorry, the arguments being put up to try and mental gymnastics this from fans and media are just kind of baffling to me. A lot of people, I put out that like at this rate, and I honestly think this at this point, he's going to race in the 2027 Daytona 500. He shouldn't.
No, he shouldn't.
He is, but he's signing a 2-year. He's signing a 2-year deal with RCR, and I'm sorry, I don't think NASCAR is going to pass up the publicity. They're going to probably change the open exemption provisional to fit somebody like him, because they need to have some kind of boost. And it's one of my biggest pet peeves with NASCAR now is that they seem like that desperate kid who wants to hang out with the cool kids a lot of the time. And they've tapped it down a bit, but sometimes it just gets through a little bit. And
if Cletus gets to run the Daytona 500, Eric, you're racing in ARCA. Congratulations.
This is why I have the utmost respect for Cletus for even trying this. Like, I do think, like, even if I had somehow triple the talent of Cletus, because I think he does have some talent, I wouldn't have the nerve to go try and run a NASCAR career. I like what I'm doing right now. Cletus has a really great thing going for him in his content creation space. So the fact that he's somewhat risking, making a fool of himself on national TV to go stock car racing is awesome. I think that's great. I just wish he wasn't being put in a position to potentially fail. And that's what
I
the
don't
truck race
disagree.
at Daytona was. The truck race at Daytona was embarrassing. Unfortunately, he would admit it. It was a shame. And I'm worried this Rockingham, potentially Talladega Daytona deal is going to end up very much the same way. Whereas if we just took our time, if we were just patient, and if we just embraced the journey and actually let this guy develop over a few years, then maybe we would all reap real benefits in the end. And maybe in 3 or 4 years, he would be contending for wins on the national stage. But at this rate, just plopping him into seats he's not ready for, that's not going to happen. And so that's why I'm a little frustrated.
I agree with this statement. Like, I do think he has
Yeah.
a ton of talent. I think there's a big difference, though, between the second highest stock car series in America and a Crown Vic. And that's another,
Yeah.
I saw Mark Martin saying that argument. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, I saw others like, oh, well, people laud the story of Marty Robbins. That was in the fucking 70s. Like, guys, like the bit has changed in that time. I want to see him succeed because him succeeding helps the sport.
Yeah.
And so like, I think we're all on that same page of just, I would be fine if he took a full season of trucks. I honestly think he's decent enough in ARCA. We've seen people move up for less in ARCA. Sure,
Yeah.
do the trucks.
Sure.
Then after you get some seat time, get up into O'Reilly. The other part too, and this is on NASCAR, is there needs to be more practice and testing, especially in these lower
that's
series.
fair.
Yeah,
They've done a bit more this year, but there needs to be actual testing. I would be more comfortable with him if he didn't just have one allotted test, if he was able to go test at 3 or 4 tracks, because then he could get the seat time that he desperately needs and deserves. And this goes for all these drivers. This goes for Corey Day. This goes for Frankie Muniz, Natalie Decker, you name it. All of these drivers in these lower series that are moving their way up or have been questionable, they need more seat time. And we don't, because of cost cutting, we don't have that. And now we're kind of reaping the rewards of that, if you will.
Hey guys, I just thought of a terrible idea. RCR has a third cup car, the 33 that they use on occasion. And I just looked it up. Drivers don't have to strictly be full-time to compete in the preliminary segments of the All-Star race at Dover.
I don't know about that. He's not running Dover. He's not running every cup race.
We didn't think he was running an O'Reilly race until today.
Well, he's not running a cup race in May. Okay. But no, and I'll give NASCAR this because I agree. Their approval process, they're letting a lot slide this year, not just Cletus. Like you alluded to earlier. It sounds like they're making, like, if he does something dumb in that Rockingham race, I'm not saying he will, but if he does, it does sound like they will not approve him for Talladega. So at least maybe there will be at some point they draw a line in the sand. I don't know. I know we're kind of just repeating ourselves. I'm rooting for him. I just wish we would savor the journey rather than trying to rush to this final destination and try to, capitalize strike while the iron is hot. It's like, I don't know. I wish we'd be a little more patient.
I know he was older when he was a rookie, but wasn't Greg Biffle like in his 30s when he was a rookie in the Cup Series?
Yeah, he was 32 or 33 for sure.
I want to double check this. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, give Cletus 2 or 3 more years to develop. He doesn't have to. I don't know.
33
I just wish
going on 34 for Greg Biffle. So it's like that Cletus McFarland is 30 years old. That's 3 or 4 years. That matches up perfectly with his idol's timeline.
Exactly. The last thing I'll say about Cletus, and I feel like I know the answer to this, and it's not the answer I want to hear. So I want to hear a better answer. But what is his ultimate goal with NASCAR? Is his goal just to say I ran the Daytona 500, or is his goal to actually, because he's thrown the word career around, is his goal to actually develop into a successful all-around stock car racer? And if the answer is I just want to run the Daytona 500, that feels a little too much like a publicity stunt. I'd rather hear him say, hey, I want to really develop my skills and be good at this long term. And he's got such a successful content creator career going that I just don't know if that's realistic either. So I wish I knew exactly what he's trying to get out of all this.
I think his goal is to have his cake and eat it too, to have the content creator and the YouTuber side of it and the Freedom Factory, but to be able to race whenever he wants, like in NASCAR when it's a really cool opportunity and for fun. And I think he wants to get better. I genuinely think he wants to do well and get better and not make an ass out of himself. I think that. But it's like we've kind of been circular on this. It's just sort of that, he wants, the publicity. He wants to rush it. He wants to do all those things. And you got to pick one lane or the other. Like this business will eat you up and spit you out. And I want him. I want him when he makes his inevitable Daytona 500 start. I want him to be able to race his way up through the pack, hopefully without fuel saving, and go up and lead the race. I want to hear him scream that he is riding the wall like a damn bald eagle, and all of those other things that he says, because it'll be one of the coolest damn moments that we'd have. And I want him to earn that way up.
Yeah.
Because it'd make it that much better.
I just don't want there to be a trail of wrecked cars between that moment and the moment we're at now. That's all I'm asking for.
There will be carnage.
He wins the Daytona 500 like Byron did a few years ago, where they all wreck in front of him. It's like, oh my God, it's Cletus McFarland.
That would actually be pretty sick. I'm just saying, I just hope he's not in over his head at Rockingham. I really hope that they know what they're doing. He's got natural talent. Maybe he figures it out, but I'm concerned. 5 ARCA starts. We can't even count the truck start. It was 5 laps. If anything, it works against him. It's like negative credit.
It was a quarter of a truck stage.
Yeah, honestly, that makes it sound more than it really was. So we'll see. I know a lot of passionate Cletus fans out there rooting for their guy. We're rooting for him too. I think we all agree this is not the route we would have chosen for him. That's all we're really saying. NASCAR continues on. I think we touched on this last week, but there've been some developments. Yes, I have my gavel here, ding, ding, ready to rock and roll. Bonk, bonk, knock on wood. Chris Gabehart. Well, let me start over. Joe Gibbs Racing was granted a limited temporary restraining order on Chris Gabehart. Remember, folks, Gabehart left JGR in the offseason. Then JGR alleged that he took proprietary JGR information with him. So JGR sought to get a restraining order that would prevent Gabehart from working at Spire for the foreseeable future. Obviously, there was a hearing, whatever. The judge ultimately granted a limited restraining order, which means Gabehart can work for Spire Motorsports now, but he can't not do any duties that might have overlapped with the kind of duties he was doing at JGR. So the way I interpret that is, Spire has hired him to be their chief motorsports officer. So that oversees like IndyCar, trucks. So maybe for the time being, he just can't be doing Cup Series stuff because that's what he was doing at JGR last year. So that's where we're at there. Of course, judge says he has to return any proprietary data he took from JGR. I think he's continuing to insist that he doesn't have any of that anymore. I don't know. There's another hearing in a little less than 2 weeks, March 16th. But that's really the latest. Have we talked on this show since last week about the stuff he said about Ty Gibbs? Did we talk about that in last week's show? Or did that come out after?
That come out.
I think it came out after. I know we've talked, it's almost a week old news now at this point, but in his initial declaration, Gabehart, defended himself, alleged that JGR mishandled his exit, withheld wages that he was owed. So there's some back and forth there. But in his declaration, he also seemed to take some shots at how JGR is managed. He called the organization dysfunctional and alleged that they treat Ty Gibbs and the 54 team differently, hold him to a different standard, don't require him to go to certain meetings, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I know it's a week old. We don't spend a ton of time on this, I guess, but if y'all got something to add, chime in right now. Danny, your reaction to everything that went down in the last week?
I mean, to me, it's getting to the point real fast where things are getting ugly. It's like bitter exes, like holding blackmail against you or something like that. But in a way, am I surprised about the Ty Gibbs stuff? Not really. I mean, I think it's just more sad that people joking and making memes of, being the golden grandchild. You want to think that's just a meme character that Michael Marutz has come up with the grandpa, but it's actually kind of true in a way. That's the part I think is more sad about all this. You want to just be memes, but it's looking kind of true.
It feels like how Kevin Harvick and others talked about RCR around 2011, 12, 13 when the Dillons were on the way up.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. And there hasn't really been that boiling point outside of New Hampshire, but nothing was really said from there. But they're not wrong though. Ty Gibbs and everyone sort of around him, that's the future of this team. Like that is the succession plan after Joe Gibbs.
My only thought is like, okay, if you're not at these, what are you doing, Ty, exactly? Because you're not necessarily improving as a driver, but what are you doing?
To Ty's defense too, like it is somebody has a lot of animosity towards JGR and Ty Gibbs, especially at this point. So like I'll at least take a little bit of a grain of salt with what he says too. The back and forth, similar to the 2311 front row lawsuit with NASCAR and the back and forths. Like I don't want to I don't want to pile on Ty Gibbs too much just because I don't know if it's true or not, but it's not a good look. That's the thing about this whole thing is like optics wise, it looks horrible.
It looks bad because he's running bad compared to his teammates. If Ty, like when Ty was dominating the O'Reilly series and won that championship, we all kind of rolled our eyes when he wrecked Brandon Jones and, did and said some things. And you're like, he's only getting away with that because he's, the grandson. But he also won a lot of races. And when you're winning, just like in all sports, if you win, coaches, owners, managers willing to put up with a lot more than when you're not winning. And I think because he's had 3 winless seasons, he's missed the chase 2 of his first 3 years. I think a lot of folks, their patience, at least externally, are wearing thin, and they're, they want to see results. And it sounds like Gabe Hart didn't feel like the team was moving in that kind of direction. Fred Dog 81 just left a super chat, very relevant to what we're talking about. Asked, "Are you concerned about the future of JGR?" Thank you, Jarrett. Based on comments from Busch and Hamlin, sounds like the veteran drivers don't trust the leadership or Ty Gibbs. We know Heather, Ty's mother, has stepped up in a big way the last couple of years behind the scenes at the organization. Gabe Hart indicated that his relationship with Heather and Ty is no bueno at this point. So I think that's where I get a little concerned, is if Ty continues to be not all he was hyped up to be from his O'Reilly days, and y'all can't get along with people behind the scenes to the point where Chris Gabehart gets run out the door, whether that's exactly the reason he left or not. Maybe Spire just offered him more money. That's always possible. That's not a great look. I mean, in the Ty Gibbs Cup Series era, Kyle Busch left, got replaced by Ty Gibbs. Now Chris Gabehart's left. I mean, those are Gabehart's not a champion, I guess, but those are 2 guys who at the time were or are at the tip top of the game. And they've been both pushed aside now for Ty Gibbs in one way or another, allegedly. So it is, I do have some concerns there for sure. I think, and listen, Joe Gibbs losing his 2 sons in close succession, that was his succession plan. That changed things, obviously personally, but from a business standpoint too, it changed things dramatically. Like, that is hard. That is difficult for any family to experience and to go through. But I mean, to answer that question, then I am a little concerned about the future of the team and if the Gibbs family will continue to run it for many years to come, or if it'll eventually evolve into something more like what Spire is now, a major corporate entity running the show mostly behind the scenes. I guess time will tell.
Well, and the chat's adding into, yes, Truex retired, but like there were plans for Truex to come back for different years in Cup and O'Reilly, and that's all fizzled out. It's just, there's a lot of weird energy in general around Joe Gibbs Racing right now.
That's true. Truex was supposed to make more starts. He's been kind of MIA since he's just on a boat somewhere.
Daytona. That was it. Yeah. I mean, hell, I feel like he'd probably want to come back to Joe Gibbs Racing more if he offered him a fishing boat on Lake Lloyd, even this week when no one's there.
Like Denny during final practice a few weeks ago.
Denny, I'm telling you, when Denny's done racing, I need to find a way to talk to him about bass fishing, because he needs to get into tournaments like the ones that I fish to start off with. Because when he's done racing, he needs to get into tournament bass fishing as a way to stay competitive, but still do something he's picked up.
His race team's still pretty good, though.
There's that. He was at he apparently went to Lake Fork up here, kind of outside of Dallas.
Lake Fork is where Claudia and I are going to go to weekend. We're going to come see y'all.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was like, I think Danny had mentioned he wants to go to Lake Fork. So that must be a legit spot.
Lake Fork produces on average more 10-pound largemouth in a year than any other lake in the entire United States.
Wow. Okay. I had no idea that was an hour down the road. Denny did apparently, and so did you. So I got to get out more. But that's the Ty Gibbs, Chris Gabehart latest. Just some mudslinging at this point. But Gabehart is working at Spire now. Just technically, he can't really work on the Cup Series program. We'll see. Guys, it's time to have some fun. It's time to have a blast.
Having fun.
We'll start with our prediction segment. Each host will make 2 NASCAR racing or show related predictions. Predictions are kept track of each week in our accountability session. We always try to keep our predictions relatively concise, contained. Let's start with the accountability segment. Danny went 0 for 1 this week, said SVG will not lose a road course racing cup until he reaches 10 wins. How many wins did he get to? Is he at 6?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang. Tough break. COTA, the street killer. Jarrett says SVG will be top 5 in points after COTA, just barely. Technically, he's tied for 5th, but we'll count it. I went 1 for 2. I said Reddick will be top 5 at COTA. I predicted he would extend that hot streak.
That wasn't necessarily a layup, but looking back on it,
It's a slam dunk at the end of the day.
Apparently, everyone thinks Reddick's good run was rigged. Not me, though. I've been saying it for a long time. That is to be expected. Zilich, I said, would beat SVG at COTA in the O'Reilly Series race. No, the racing gods threw everything they could at him, and he still wound up in the top 5 late until the end. SVG won. Here's our full season standings. I'm at a 50% completion percentage. Jarrett is 46% correct. Danny at 36%, but these numbers get a lot worse when we look at our all-time rankings. Jarrett leads the way at 37%. Danny and I are tied at 32.54%. What are the odds?
An exact tie, not like just, the percentages are that way. We are both 68 out of 209. It is a race.
Wow.
69 correct right now.
75 out of 202. Woo!
That's crazy. What are the odds? All right. Well, it's time to add to our predictions vault. Who goes first? Do I go? Who goes first?
You go.
Me? I should get used to this. I'm going to go with some pretty simple ones this week. Honestly, I wasn't feeling very creative this afternoon when putting these together. Both these are Phoenix related. My first one, I'm going to throw him a bone, Danny. I feel bad for Alex Bowman. It's been a rough start to the year. I predict he bounces back in his home state and gets a top 10 this weekend.
Okay, I like it.
I don't know if y'all saw, but I actually had a tweet that kind of took off from outside the NASCAR circles this week. So I'm in a social media mood this week.
Wow, buzzing.
So I'll do one about, I guess, X and Instagram, and then I'll do one about YouTube. And I'll start with the YouTuber. Cletus McFarland will start either the or 27 or 28 Daytona 500.
Oh, you had to throw in 2028. You've been over here like 2027, 2027.
I'll hedge the bet. I'll hedge the bet.
Comfort.
Hey, he could miss, and maybe they don't skew the rules, and he misses in the duels.
Oh, I see. Maybe, yeah. Okay, that's fine. I'll allow it. We'll ask the court. I think they allow it.
Get the gavel.
None of mine this week are going to come off the board next week, but I don't think Jarrett has made this one yet. But if you've been following along with the NWP NASCAR Fantasy League, Eric forgot to put in his picks for week 1.
Yes.
And Jarrett's wife had not yet joined the NWP Fantasy League yet. I'm going to make the prediction. Jarrett's wife, Riss, will beat Eric in NWP Fantasy League this season.
All right. I'm officially setting my reminder, a regular weekly reminder. I'm not
you're
going to
after
forget
Riss
that
and you're after Guy Tibbs now.
Guy Tibbs, you dastardly devil.
I love it, Getty.
It's not that I don't want to lose to Riss. Riss is quite clever, quite savvy. She might beat me straight up, but I can't let Danny get a prediction right.
I got to give credit to that one. Claudia did suggest that one, so I went ahead and went with that one, and I thought it was genius.
Oh.
I was considering putting in Claudia as well into this, but Claudia has a race advantage on y'all, so I didn't want to do that one.
All right.
So, by the way, with the update that NASCAR.com and everything had, it actually kicked me out of our own league, but I'm somehow still to run it, but it won't let me run it. So we're gonna have to do like a complete system reset in 2027 because I won't be able to.
Now you're just a commissioner.
Well, no. So, but it let me keep my points outside of the league, so I'm just gonna keep track from outside. I think I'd be 26th right now.
If you're not beating Jarrett, you're getting kicked out.
Oh no, we're just gonna restart, and you just have to be able to watch the first few episodes next year, season 10.
My second prediction, again, I'm going simple, not super creative. Brent Cruz, 6th place in his O'Reilly Series debut. He's back behind the wheel at an oval. He was pretty good here in a truck last fall. I'm predicting a top 5 for Brent Cruz on Saturday.
Okay. So I meant to make this one like a week or two ago when it was more relevant and happened. But I had better predictions that were more fun. So I'm going to say this. Brian Vickers will make another social media post this year.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know why he made one to begin with,
for better or worse.
I ratioed him right away, but he'll make another one, and I'll probably ratio him again.
That'll show him doing what the justice system won't.
One could say he's stuck on an island.
Oh man, Danny, quick! What's your prediction? Jesus Christ!
Tyler Reddick will win 7+ races before the chase.
Before the chase.
Chase!
I mean, period. 7 period.
Dude, you just turned us into the mystery gang.
Hey, that's just 4 more races. He's got 3, and there's a lot of good tracks for him coming up. Darlington, etc.
All right, okay. That's a
Wow.
big one. I like that one.
That's
I kind of hope he
good.
gets that one.
We ain't had a good cushiony regular season in a while. I think we're due for one.
Who has the most wins in a season in the next gen era? Denny had 6 last year. What's the record in the next gen?
Oh.
Is it 6? Has anyone had 7 yet?
I don't know.
Don't do that,
I saw
Jared.
that.
Don't do that.
Oh man.
Why are y'all both wearing Under Armour shirts? I just noticed this. Are we sponsored by Under Armour?
I was this is like the only one that Baby Vomit will just slide right off of.
I see. You got that like
Strategic.
that,
By
yeah.
the way, just random. I'm looking at the how is NWP Fantasy League going. Claudia's beating me by 1 point. We're literally right beside each other in standings right now.
We have battles all over the place,
I'm
man.
trying to find Guy Tibbs. Where is he at?
Probably at the bottom because he sucks.
Oh no, he's 33rd.
Where is he?
He's 33rd.
Where am I at?
He has 516 points. Where's Eric?
Oh, come on. You can't be that far down.
Where is Eric?
Eric, I think it's 92nd because Riss
What?
is like 4 points ahead of him.
Okay, Eric is 90th, 328 points, and Riss is 334 points. So
Remember to add one though to anyone that's. I think I'm tied with Blue Jimmy in 26. So add anyone that's below. You have to add one, and I will put myself on the board. I will show my work like old school standards.
it's too bad this person's not participating because this is an awesome name, Zilling for Zillish.
I know. I saw that.
Man. Well, this was fun. We got one more fun segment before we get into our Phoenix race preview and predictions. It's time for Random Driver of the Week.
Random.
I slipped into like a Patrick Star there after a few moments.
Firmly grasp it. Firmly grasp it.
No, this is Patrick.
I'm not a crusty crab.
So all time, Danny leads Eric 37-35. Danny has 3 in a row with Kevin LePage, Fred Lorenzen, and Ralph Earnhardt. And Eric has the Newmans, Ryan and Paul.
Dude, I've been slipping the last, if you look at the last probably 2 or 3 months, I'm like losing 6-2 or something.
If you look at before the Newmans, how many? I got 5 in a row. I overcame my own slump and then took a 2-week lead now.
I am slumping. I got to step it up. All right, I'm locked in though. Go away, chat. I'll see you in a few minutes.
There are
Last thing I see. Last thing I see is just I love being purple. In the chat. All right, bye, chat. See you in a minute.
Finland. All right, so there are 17 facts. So let's get on into it. This random driver comes from a racing family.
Matt Kenseth, first guess. Lock
Matt
it in.
Kenseth is the guess. Where are the Sounders at? There it is.
Okay, all right, that's all right. That's okay. I never use all 3 guesses, anyways.
Have we had him before? I don't even know.
No, we haven't.
We haven't had Matt, and we haven't had Dale Jr. yet, have we? So
no.
I am
Do
just
you
making
want
sure.
to waste a better guess?
I
No,
have
no.
You know, I have the list in alphabetical order on the bottom of our itinerary, right? You guys can always.
I don't look at it.
Okay.
So
Garrett, why would we ever want to do that?
But thank you for keeping track.
I just figured if you guys ever needed any help on that.
Okay, keep going. I'm sorry. I just had to make sure I didn't get it. I can't not get the Matt Kenseth one whenever that one does come up. That's all. Anyway, go ahead.
This random driver's family was actually prominent in the 70s and 80s for snowmobile racing.
Okay. All right.
I can definitely hear that Mini Bird got up because K-Pop Demon Hunters is playing in the other room now.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna be golden, y'all.
In snowmobile racing?
In snowmobile racing, yes.
Ryan Truex.
Ryan Truex is Danny's guess, and
Okay. We've each
Wrong.
wasted one, but I felt like I remembered something about the Truex and that for some
He
reason.
said that so confidently, it really made me scared that he was right.
This random driver won 4 karting championships in 2 years between the ages of 9 and 10.
Well done.
This random driver also won a super stock championship at the age of 14
Super.
and was the rookie of the year in the ARCA Midwest Tour in 2013.
ARCA Midwest.
Oh, I have a guess, but I'm going to save it because I've burned one already.
This random driver also won 7 late model races in 2014 alone. I'm like looking at the chat right now.
Have they gotten it yet?
In 2014?
2014. Any?
Not yet. I don't want to waste another one right now.
This random driver in 2016 was an Alan Kowicki development driver.
2016 Alan Kowicki development driver.
Yes.
Was that a Ford program?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Or was that not tied to an OEM? I can't remember now either.
Let's see. This random driver competed in ARCA with a career best multiple times of 5th.
Like in points or in the race? Like he had fifth place racers?
Race
Okay.
finish.
Mm.
Would you all like the numbers?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hopefully this week we're good and we don't end up like this.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm ready. I have my pen. We're good.
All right. 08, 13, 23, 25, 28, 35, 36, 44, 52,
Why did you go
53,
slow right there?
54, 66, 92, and 98.
Jeez,
That's
Louise,
some random numbers.
yeah, there's a lot of nonsense on my paper right here.
Has run also Chevys, Fords, and Toyotas. So all 3 of them.
It's a recent driver. I can tell
Yeah.
by that.
Yeah.
Do they know who it is? Does the chat know who it is yet?
Yeah. We have tweeted about this random driver a few times. Danny once, 3 times for me, and 8 times for Eric. I do have Eric's first tweet about this random driver. It was too good not to include.
What is it?
If random driver wins tonight, I'll shout out everyone who retweets this on Out of the Groove, hashtag NASCAR trucks.
I don't think this guy won because I don't remember ever shouting out any retweets. That's an old tweet too. That had to be like 2017, 18, or 19. I would not.
Isn't
tweet
that right? It was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
I'll just put it like that. This random driver's best O'Reilly finish has been 18th
in a race.
In a race. These are all in a race. No full seasons.
No full seasons.
This random driver's best truck series finish was 5th.
In a race?
In a race.
Oh man.
This random driver.
Okay, I had a guess, but I think wow, okay.
Go for it. Go for it if you want.
No, it's not right now. That's
This
wrong. I can't believe it. I was literally about to guess this.
This random driver was born the same year as Eric and I. 1997.
Oh man, I really don't know who this is.
This random driver also is a relatively controversial driver.
Who?
I only have 1 clue left, so if you guys have guesses, you better shoot them out quick.
Hold on. Let me think about this just for a second.
Oh man, okay. Shoot. Can I get their hometown? Do you know that?
The last clue is their home state.
Okay, can we get that?
Which makes your first guess great because it was Wisconsin.
Oh, so it can't be. No,
Go Go for
No,
it.
it's not this guy, but now I don't know who the hell it is. I was so sold it was Ty Majeski until like 4 clues ago.
Wisconsin
no.
native. Wisconsin native.
Oh, but it's not Ty. You literally had like Thor Sport numbers on here. You talked about Alex. I mean, geez, but he's won a truck championship. So, man,
I love that I like let go a clue at one point during this, and neither of you caught it, but the chat did.
no, you were like 36.
Nope. Wasn't that?
53.
I was literally in the middle of a random sentence. I love the chat right now. The chat is making.
What, do they
this
know who
worth
it is?
Oh hell yeah, they know who it is. I guarantee the audio audience knows
I
who
mean,
it is.
I don't think it is. Is it Matt's son Ross Kenseth?
Ross Kenseth is your guess, and you are wrong.
No, I didn't think so. I didn't see any JGR numbers.
Let's see. So we got some Thor
This is
Sport
better
numbers.
than I thought it could have been.
Shugs, quit slamming on that door.
52, 53, 54. Those are like some Joey Gase numbers.
I love the chat right now. You
We
guys
got
are great.
some Venturini 25. It's not Breidinger. She's from California.
Y'all can tap out if you need.
It's not. It's 2016. It's not Kwasniewski. He's not from Wisconsin. I was thinking
No.
Dylan Kwasniewski for a minute too
No,
earlier.
it ain't him. I'll tell you.
What
that.
was the clue? Can we get the big clue again? What was the big
Nope.
clue?
I said it once just to see if one of you would catch it.
Man, wait, hold on. I gotta ask some more questions. So they're from Wisconsin.
I can look up the hometown if you'd like. Let me just put
Nope. I was about to say it. Well, I'll throw it out there. Is it Josh Balicki?
Josh Balicki, the guess. All right, now we're in, I guess, sudden death overtime, if you will.
Get in here and tell me who it is. Come on.
I'm the Wisconsin. I should know the Wisconsin guys, man. Shugs, bail me out, buddy. I see him.
I know you know those Wisconsin guys. Do you need the town
it's
name?
Natalie Decker.
Natalie Decker.
Oh yes,
It's Natalie.
Natalie
I was like,
Decker.
You emphasize the word guys.
I said her at one point. Neither of you caught it.
Oh,
I was thinking like, oh, this will give it away
He
for
didn't
sure.
Someone checked the tape. I didn't hear that.
The whole chat's like, he said her.
I didn't see that.
Oh my
Someone
gosh.
timestamped when he did that. I didn't catch that.
good work, Jared.
said
Good
it
work.
very-
Good work, Eric, to figure it out finally.
Honestly, it was the Joey Gase numbers. I literally was sitting here like 53. Isn't that like a 35?
I was about to say, I'm like, we've made videos about this driver this year. I actually have
wait,
entire
wait,
packet
wait,
of
wait.
random drivers ready to go
Jarrett, read my tweet again and from like 8 years ago with the
her
driver
name in
name.
it.
Yeah.
If Natalie Decker wins tonight, I'll shout out everyone who retweets this on Out of the Group. Hashtag NASCAR trucks.
Okay, maybe I know why you would have said that then.
Oh my God, this comment from Noah. Are you looking at it? It says Eric came in even later than Decker did at Daytona. Man.
Okay,
That's
I want to let
clever,
y'all
Noah.
know that I actually I set the lineups of the random drivers we have before the season. I don't take into account storylines, any of that, because it just makes it too easy. And like this came up on the same week that we're talking about driver eligibility again with Cletus McFarland. I'm like, oh my God. Like as we find out about this a few hours ago with the Cletus stuff, I'm like, holy shit.
You could have said we have talked about this driver today.
That's the thing. It's like when you guys start bringing up stuff about Natalie Decker's stats, I'm like, okay, I gotta take that one out.
That was like the day, I think it was Sam Ard. Literally in that show, I mentioned something about Sam Ard having a record that was, being overtaken or something like that.
That's right. Yeah, and I like you go back in my face. I'm like, you can just see my.
Like,
eyes
oh yeah,
like,
that's a fun fact. Yeah, how do you know that?
That was a great fact, Danny. Very good fact. So that was
Glad
random
I was
driver
able
of
to
the week.
get on the board this week.
See,
at
this
the
is
buzzer.
why you watch the entire NWP show. You get through to NASCAR, you get through to race reactions for these moments right here.
Yes.
This
Random
has to be
driver
on
of the week.
This has to end up
delivers.
like I want to do a top 10 list this year too, on top of Cito doing his, and we'll see where we stack up with our rankings. This
like
is a
it.
good candidate this year.
I feel that.
Me revealing the 2311 shirt and going off on Riley last week is already still up there though.
That was pretty good. We got to actually keep track of a list this year. All right.
Phoenix Raceway,
That's
gentlemen.
right.
Time to get into Phoenix. Duel in the desert. A few notes before we get into the specific races. Austin Hill is making a Cup Series start in the RCR 33. No Cletus this week in the Cup card. Not yet. It's Austin Hill. Chandler Smith is in the number 5 Hettinger Racing O'Reilly car. And William Byron is in the JRM 88 in the O'Reilly series. All right, here we go, boys. No truck race. So it's just the O'Reilly series on Saturday. Well, O'Reilly and IndyCar, I guess. We're not picking IndyCar. It's the GOVX 200 laps. It's a 45.
GovX.com. You know those commercials? That's the sponsor this week. The ones where GovX, it's GovX.com, and he shoves the phone into the dude's chest.
That must be a regional commercial. We get a lot of HEB tortilla ads in Texas.
That might be it. It's on the CW a lot.
Starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on the CW. It's also on MRN, Sirius XM. Eric Almirola in that 19 car is the defending race winner. Remember, he had to move Alex Bowman, kind of, sort of.
Van Bowman.
We're just pile on Danny tonight.
Yeah. The Cup Series race on Sunday is the Straight Talk Wireless 500, 312 laps, 60, 125, 127 are the stage lengths. 3:30 p.m. start on Sunday on FS1. MRN, Sirius XM. C-Bell is the defending spring Phoenix race winner. Before we get to the weather note or the weather report, quick note, same tire as last year, but a little more horsepower. Remember last fall, a lot of blown tires, a lot of teams pushing the air pressures. We saw contenders like Chase Briscoe had like 3 blown tires across the whole weekend. So something to watch this week with the increase in horsepower, how conservative teams play it with their setups. With that being said, Danny, do you have a weather report for us this week?
I do. Let me pull up our weather report from our trusty friend, WSAV meteorologist, Jeff Fork out of Savannah, Georgia. He said it's pretty short and sweet this week. Overall, looking good. There is a system that will be forming late in the weekend, so shower chances are possible late Sunday, and sometimes NASCAR does make it rain in the desert. The more significant rain would be on Monday, but sometimes timing with the low pressure forming in northern Mexico can speed up when we're this far out. So overall, could it rain? Maybe, but I don't think we're going to bank on it too much.
Short and sweet. Makes sense for the desert. Usually pretty dry out there. These pick points, though, they get me feeling pretty dry this week. I've lost my lead.
There's a rare side. Danny with a half a decent lead.
Danny B, top of the board. I am 8 points back. Then Jarrett. Chat, still in the basement. Minus 18 points. Still pretty close early in the year. Chat, at least you get to go first this week. Don't waste this opportunity now. This is a big opportunity. What, Jarrett?
Eric, you're not going to be as excited as one of Mikey's twinks.
Come on now, Jarrett. Come on now. Let's get into it. Chat, you get to go first. We start with the O'Reilly series. Who is going to win the GovX 200?
GovX.com.
I just can't imagine where I'd be in the standings if I had that sweep last week.
I think it's 7 and 88.
It's pretty close between the 7 and 88. I think it's leaning 88. I might need to pull it out.
Yeah, because whichever one I'm just gonna let it go now because I'm second. Whichever one they don't pick, I'm picking.
Okay. Byron or Allgaier.
Byron.
Chat, you have about the next, I know there's a delay. You have about the next 10 seconds to vote. So be quick. No more typing. Please click a button in the chat. Please click a button. Let me know who's going to win the Nopes race on Saturday. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know there's a delay, so I'm going to stall for a few more seconds. It's close. Oh, it's at the line. It's Byron.
Damn it.
By 1.5 feet. No, by about 10 percentage points, actually. William Byron is the chat's pick. So, Jarrett, you're taking Justin Allgaier. Is that right?
Yeah. He was looking pretty damn good the last couple of years in this race.
Well, those were my number 1 and number 2 picks. So I will go with my third time's the charm. I'll say Jesse Love backs up what he did here in November.
Do you remember?
The first night of November.
I do.
When Connor Zilic was really sad.
And I'm gonna go with Big Bully Austin Hill.
Solid.
Big bully.
All right, time for the
When
NASCAR
in doubt,
Cup
you can go with the
Series.
Big Bully now.
Who's going to suck in the Cup race Sunday afternoon? Chat, we will start with you. Who's going to underwhelm, underperform, disappoint?
We can probably give ours while they're doing theirs since
I
we
guess
can
that's true. We
overlap.
can't.
I'll go
Yes,
Alex
that's true,
Bowman.
too. Oh, I
Even
have
though
him
he
in the
has
top
been
10.
better here in the last
Mm.
last 5 or 6 races here.
Just when he's down, he's really down.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
the heaviest slumps, but like he can get like this crazy peaks too. So Chad might
I
be
think
going.
the chat is pretty. Yeah, they're agreeing with that.
Tough scene. Danny, what about you? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I go next, right? Yeah, my
Yeah.
bad. I will take, I'll go SVG.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ride the Bowman depression train. I'm gonna just bully Austin Dillon.
Fair enough. I almost said Gregson. I should probably say Gregson instead. SVG's actually had some good finishes here in the O'Reilly series. Dark Horse, who is going to sneak up on the field and get themselves a good finish, maybe contend for the win. Chat, I'll let y'all get a second to catch up to us. Who is your Dark Horse pick? Austin Hill. I got three Austin Hills in a row for a Dark Horse pick. I'm sorry.
No, that's Josh Berry, isn't
Yeah.
We're not on the O'Reilly series. I was still in the O'Reilly mode. You're right. That's Josh Berry. I'm stupid. That makes more sense. I was zoned out for a second there. That's on me. Josh Berry maybe is the chat's underdog pick.
Eric
That makes a lot more
all
sense.
about Wood Brothers Racing existing, guys.
Well, I mean, shoot.
You call yourself a NASCAR fan.
I was watching Amelia had on one of the Taylor Swift documentary things last night, and I was watching it with her, and I was like, I needed to chime in with something. I'm like, I need to be able to say something. I need to be able to contribute to this viewing experience. So I said, hey, Josh Berry went to the high school at the same time as Taylor Swift, and she said, oh, wow, really? I wouldn't have guessed that. And I said, yeah, I know. It's probably the only remarkable thing about Josh Berry. He's kind of, he's a great race car driver, but boy, not much else.
Fun fact, y'all come visit me and I can show you exactly where that school is.
I like it.
I
think they're going Berry. I don't know.
I used to run at the park that she funded in Hendersonville.
Yeah.
It's a good park. Cool. Good on her. It also has a giant thing for like a 3/8 of a mile almost exhibit with plaques, and there's like 20 something plaques. It's all about Joseph Newgarden because he's also from Hendersonville. Good Busher.
Oh, I was going to go Ryan Preece, so we're kind of on the same page there.
I think we all are with the Fords. Danny, do we complete it?
No, I don't know why I'm doing the most random underdog ever in my entire life. Mainly because I'm hoping he can get a top 20. I'll say Riley Herbst for once.
Riley Herbst. Danny is bold tonight, man. I love it.
If he does the top 20, I'll be actually satisfied.
I like it. I like it.
Okay. Good Lord. All right. Cup Series win pick. Now, who is going to win the Street Talk Wireless? 500 kilometers.
500, yeah. Kilometers.
The metric system.
What is a kilometer?
All right, chat. Looks like they're starting to get their win picks in. I'm seeing.
And by the way, chat, for freaking out, I picked them for an underdog. Not anything crazy. Like don't freak out too much.
Chat is.
They're all over, man.
I'm seeing. I think a lot of 11s and
seeing
12.
way more. Well, there's a lot of 22 all of a sudden.
There's also a lot of 5s.
And some 24s and some 20s and some surprisingly few Tyler Reddick picks. Not buying the 4 straight.
For being so damn boring for people, it seems like it's wide open who could win this race, according to the chat.
Good point. All right, I'm gonna have to start making some poll options. I think I definitely see Denny Hamlin.
11, 12, 22. I've seen a lot.
Yep, I agree.
5 I've seen a lot of.
I would add the 5. I would do 4, give them 4 options, and go from there.
Yeah. All right. We'll do Larson as the last one. Get a Chevy in there. All right, chat. You have about the next 20 seconds or so to make your selections. So make your selections quick. And I'm not doing a runoff unless it's like a tie. I'm not doing a runoff. All right. So try to form a consensus here. Make things easy on us. I'll give y'all a few more seconds to get your picks in. I think there's only like a 5-second delay between
pulling away on mine.
Oh boy. All right. Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna give it 5, 4.
And I really don't even think I saw as many 12s either. That's the strange thing.
one. Yeah, they are going with Ryan Blaney. 49% of the vote to Blaney.
Wow.
Nobody else got more than 28. So runaway.
Well, I'm not going to take any of those other ones. I'm going to go William Byron. He tends to do pretty good when he runs an O'Reilly race the day before.
That's true statement.
That is true. And that's why he was my number 2 pick. Blaney was my number 3. I get my number 1 pick. Give me Christopher Bell, baby.
He was my number 2.
C Bell.
And I get my number 1, Denny Hamlin.
So
all
we're
good picks.
going.
I feel like we got some good ones here.
Yeah. So 3
No
Bs
Tyler
and Denny. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
Tyler Reddick. That is.
And then Eric, get ready to interview Tyler Reddick again next week.
Get ready to learn Reddick, buddy.
If Bell does win, you need to open up with, on our weekly show, I picked you for what it matters.
I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna be like, welcome to the Tyler Reddick. Oh, Christopher's here. Whoa. I don't know, maybe he wouldn't like that. Good stuff. I think everyone made some good picks tonight. I feel pretty good about all of them. What is this comment you just put on the screen? The super chat. Oh, that's the next super chat.
That's the next super chat.
Oh, this is insanity. All right, well, we made it to our final.
Money to make me depressed on the show.
Our super chat cool down lap starts off with a bang here. Andrew saying Hendrick should do everything in their power to get Heim from Toyota and put him in the 48. I don't see that happening. I mean, no, I think Heim would be good in the 48, but I don't see that happening. Shorty Bubs PJM says besties Bubba, Blaney, and Chase with a bunch of silver, bronze medals. Yeah, I guess they finished, or they're right now second, third, fourth in points. Bubba, Blaney, and then Elliott. From Crest John says, curious on y'all's thoughts on the new Speed show. I honestly have only seen a few clips. I have not sat down and listened or watched the whole thing yet.
I listened to 2 of them. I think they've done 2,
okay,
maybe more. But to me, it's what Happy Hour should have been. Like having somebody that's on the level, somebody on the level of Kevin Harvick. Like when it comes to racing knowledge, is great. The worst part of it is their AI intro. That's the only bad part, honestly.
Reasonable. Napa Racing fan, Fox cut to a full screen ad after a side-by-side. I did not catch that, but apparently Jarrett did, and he pointed that out earlier. That's pretty crazy. Funny. Justin Drake says, Shugs pulled a Garfield, love me, feed me, never leave me. I love a good Garfield reference. Jeffrey King, how many do y'all think of top 16 chasers lock in before the chase on points by the end of the TNT stint? I set the over-under at 9.5, I guess.
Under, definitely.
Yeah, I'll take under. Locked after TNT, how many races?
4.
There's 4 races left. Yeah, that 9 seems like a lot.
I'll go 3 or 4.
Yeah, I would take the under. I'd say 3 or 4. Maybe it'll be locked in by that point.
For sure on that one.
But again, they're still going to have stuff to race for, though, because it's about getting the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seeds, because that'll put you in the best position to go for the championship. Derek, thank you for the 10. Suarez could make the playoffs this year. He was 16th in points in 2024, which would make it. We're going to the Phoenix race where he has top 20 speed, in Las Vegas where he finished second in the spring last year. I've been really impressed with Suarez. I remember saying when he made the move, I was like, hey, on paper, Trackhouse is better than Spire, but at the same time, Trackhouse has been kind of meandering the last couple of years. I don't think they're really getting better anymore, whereas Spire is on the ascent. Hendrick engines under the hood, like maybe Suarez. I said this, maybe Suarez is getting in on the ground floor with Spire, so to speak, and they're going to the moon this year. I'm not ready to say he makes the playoffs, makes the chase, but I do agree at this point, Daniel Suarez might give that 7 car the best run it's gotten maybe ever, or at least since it became a Spire car, at least. So yeah, good start to him for the year for him. Go Snake Man says, I was upset with Fox when Larson and Bell were battling and it was good, but swap the cameras to something else was horrible. Yeah, I'm sure there's some questionable cuts. From Twin Spinner says, Mr. H to Corey Day, stop blowing holes in my ship.
Why is the rum gone?
Good Jack Sparrow reference. Why is my right front gone? That's what he was saying.
Why is Zilich gone?
Yeah, where did he go? Ross Crastain in defense of Corey Day. Cletus will give him a run for his money in terms of cars correct. I didn't say that. Ross Crastain said that.
When the Cletus fans find us, our comments section will be amazing.
You better hope they don't find you, Ross Crastain. Sorry, this this reset on me. I know you have it on the screen. I'm trying to find it on my screen. Where are we at? Sorry. Here we go. From GN NASCAR fan, did you guys see 2001 Texas HD footage? Amazing. I did not. I want to go find that. That would be really cool. From Jeffrey King says, I was born in 03, and even though when I started in 2011 as an 8 fan, I can't believe Brent Cruz was 3 when I became a mostly full-time fan. We're all getting older. Even if you're not old yet, you're still getting older. Sad reality. From Nick Foley, my favorite show to watch at work. Let's go number 77 and 12. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you tuning in. From Jeffrey King says, could y'all do a special reunion style NASCAR parody with diecast from Eric's old series? We need the reunion movie now.
If Eric was willing to direct and produce a NASCAR parody, I would gladly voice a few characters.
I got a car. I already got this just sitting on my desk.
There we go. I would gladly recruit y'all to be the voices because I used to do most of them myself, and I'm clearly not very versatile.
Everyone grab a diecast right now. Let's just do it on the fly right now.
I don't have one right now. I haven't done one of those since college. That was a long.
Make NASCAR Winston again.
That's method actor over here.
If we were able
I got one.
Is it the vault?
In my pain and suffering.
We should, if we were to do that, we need to make it like the absolute 11th degree caricatures of ourselves, and just like find every funny thing people say about us. Like, let's just take it and dial it to 11. I'd love that.
Someone just said in the chat, Eric needs to do his old Larson voice. I literally can't do that voice anymore. I can't get that high pitched. It was like, or something. I can't do that consistently.
Stay away
Andrew,
from the 11 car.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I did that. Honestly, I did the same voices for like 3 different characters. Like they all like I just couldn't let them all be in the same room at the same time. From Andrew, 10 tracks have 2 points races. Who would you move down to 1 to ensure a Dover points race? Also, what other tracks would you add?
Well, do we have to go by the SMI ISC stuff or just choose from them? Because if we don't have to choose from them, I'm picking Phoenix.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Let's see how the new horsepower does, because I thought the fall Phoenix race was kind of interesting with the tire wear and all that.
The short tracks don't improve too much. I hate to say, I'd probably pick a Martinsville one on all honesty.
Heresy.
Yeah, it's painful.
I know,
to say
but I mean, can you blame me now?
Las Vegas, I know they probably won't, but I feel like Las Vegas is kind of, as intermediates go, is kind of dry. No pun intended. I don't know. Good question, though, Andrew. From Indy Carson versus NASCarson. Gosh, like an internal civil war here. Hey, NWP, Eric, how was your COTA trip? It was great. It was a really good time. Enjoyed it. I admit I now help sub for elementary students, which is why racing has taken a backseat, because I'm blessed to enjoy helping kids learn, making their futures a success. That sounds very worthwhile, more worthwhile than anything we're doing up here. So good on you, Indy Carson. Great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. This was Snap Back to Reality saying wants to DM us messages on Twitter. I think all of our DMs are open. I must admit they sometimes get a little flooded. I don't always see them, unfortunately, but I'll do our best. From Jensen, good to see you, Jensen. Hey guys, if Brent Cruz makes you feel old, I feel ancient. I remember the first NASCAR race I saw on TV live was when Bobby Allison won the 1982 Daytona 500. First year, it was the season opener. I feel old. Aloha, guys. Aloha to you as well. Again, we're not necessarily old. We're just getting older. Some would say that means we're getting wiser as well. Some more than others. But thanks for the super chat, Jensen. And thank you. A couple of Andrews in the chat. Another one from Andrew said, we let Natalie Decker race. How much worse can Cletus be than her? Got 16 thumbs up. You guys, a lot of y'all like that in the comments.
Y'all are mean.
Man, y'all are taking shots. Parker Miley, thank you for the super chat. Does Toyota start back 2311 more than JGR as their premier team in the next few years? Oh, start like backing, like supporting them. That actually is pretty interesting. It's tough because right now 2311, the main reason they're as good as they are is they do pay for that JGR information. At some point, I don't know, can 2311 start to build their own notebook? And maybe at some point they will have that capability and they could flip the script, but I think that's going to take some time. That's
if anyone could outspend Joe Gibbs, it'd be Michael Jordan.
That's probably true. Another one from Justin Drake. Appreciate the generous support. Forrest Gump really has a death wish for these super speedways. I don't think it's feasibly possible he could ever be worse than Natalie spinning herself off a tow truck at Bristol, but he has zero experience in the top 3 series. He's calling Cletus Forrest Gump. I've not heard that analogy before.
It's creative.
To be fair, Cletus getting loose spinning in turn 4 in the truck series, that was rough because it was 5 laps into his debut, but we see guys spin out there pretty often. I have yet to see anyone come remotely close to spinning off the front of a tow truck. So that's still going to be tough to top, unfortunately.
I can't believe that I got to see that right in front of us in person. I was dumbfounded that night.
Indy Carson again. Truck showed what the Cup Series should do, racing with IndyCar at St. Pete with rarer drivers in the race. Long Beach, California street race, I would do so. That Cup is near the LA area. I think we talked about that a couple of years ago. If NASCAR wanted to keep the street race alive, Long Beach seemed like it would make some sense considering the market. But then wasn't there like an ownership change of the Long Beach Grand Prix?
Yeah, they tried to buy it, but
yeah. So I don't know if NASCAR will be welcome there, but maybe. GN NASCAR fan, few weeks late, but from current Disney World cast member to a former and new Eric, Chris Gabehart allegedly didn't protect his puppy. If you know, you know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I wish I got that reference, GN. DM me later. Maybe you can explain it to me. No, I don't know. Go Snake. Go Snake Man again says, who needs to do better for these 3 powerhouse teams? Bowman, Gibbs, or Cindric? Which number could you see Busch driving? I don't know if Kyle Busch ends up in any of those 3, but of those 3, obviously Bowman's in the biggest points hole. But I feel like if I'm arguing who's on the hottest seat of those 3, I feel like it should actually be Austin Cindric personally, but I don't know that he actually is.
I would say it's Bowman right now because honestly, you talk about the Cindric. I feel like Bowman could be a favorite to replace a Cindric if they move on from him. So now he doesn't look like he's doing too good to be an option for that.
Well, they're both on the hot seat, maybe, or they should both maybe be on the hot seat at least.
Two of them have won in the last 3 years.
Yeah, but Ty, I get that. Like, yes, if Ty's name wasn't on the building, he would also be on the hot seat at this point, kind of like Suarez or Eric Jones was, but like his seat is just so different. Get into the home stretch. Indy Carson again says IndyCar, O'Reilly and Cup. IndyCar was boring. Alex Palou again. O'Reilly SVG again, but Zilich got wrecked. LOL. Forgot he's anti-Zilich. Cup was boring. Milestone with Reddick and MJ winning. I guess that was the only redeemable factor of that race for Indy Carson there. Always brutal honesty there. Fred Dog, are you concerned about JGR's future? I read this one earlier. We answered it in real time. Appreciate the support, Fred Dog. And then we have from Snapback to Reality. Even if it's been 4 years, but his father's death is still affecting him personally and mentally. Phoenix is definitely PTSD for Ty Gibbs. I mean, that night I still remember I think everyone was shocked. I can't imagine how he felt. And yeah, it has been 4 years, but like we were talking about earlier, it's still probably very difficult for that whole family to continue to move on. From Chase Fan, doesn't make sense how NASCAR wouldn't let Mike Wallace race last year at Daytona with years of experience, but let Cletus race. Mike Wallace has done like no racing for a decade, wanted to go race Cup on the biggest stage. Cletus, O'Reilly is pushing it, but up before then, he's been, ARCA trucks. It's a different animal. It's a different beast. I would not say the two situations are very similar. Sorry, here we are. Final few. Official J Fendi says Danny Beast prediction from way downtown. Bang. Some good ones this week. I like this little clippy profile picture. Mr. Bad Guy. Joey got new hair just to shave it all off. What's going on there? I don't know. You'd have to ask him, I guess. I don't know.
Whatever it was, it wasn't working out for him all the way. So he said, the heck with it.
I'm getting used to the new look, honestly. I am starting to get used to it.
I like it.
17 IN says prediction Reddick will miss the chase and fans will scream for winning you're in to come back. I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be insane if it did. Evergreen Mountain. Hey, Eric, speaking of great Texas barbecue, have you had the pleasure of trying Goldie's at south of Fort Worth and is amazing? No, it's a long drive, but my wife and I have literally talked about we need to pick a weekend to go try Goldie's. We've heard it's amazing. It's a good one. I'm glad someone else is recommending it. Now I really got to move it up the list and make the trip out there. But yeah, maybe on the way to Texas Motor Speedway, I'll hit it up later this year. Eric and Raid 1548 says, how can you imagine if Denny Hamlin retired and he left Briscoe and Bell in charge of the Cup car team and JGR when Ty Gibbs is still around? I don't know what that means. Sorry. I don't think Briscoe and Bell are in charge of anything at JGR. They just drive the cars and they drive them really fast. Jeffrey King says Natalie Decker is greater than Chris Wright, only because I'm still mad of Texas last year as an Allgaier fan. Yeah, I could see you holding a grudge over that. I don't know if we still have that graphic, Jarrett. the
Which one?
Iconic, the Texas Motor Speedway one, but that's okay.
By the way, Eric,
yeah.
I want to look this up. You talked about Terry Blacks earlier.
There it is.
You were talking about Terry Blacks earlier. You're 38 minutes from a Terry Blacks, and although it's not open yet, I'm actually closer to a Terry Blacks. There's one that's going to be opening in Nashville, 25 minutes away. Nice.
See, it's a good classic Texas barbecue place. I live closer to a place called Hutchins. Pretty elite. I'm a big Hutchins
I enjoyed
fan.
Hutchins last time. Hutchins is a repeat.
GN NASCAR fan, cybersecurity training course, frontline cast, and most corporate cast have to take. Wouldn't leave your puppy in a car. Why leave passwords or sensitive info? Thank you for the clarification there on that one, GN NASCAR fan. Now I understand the reference. I don't recall taking any intense cybersecurity training when I worked at the Tower of Terror, though. I think they were just worried we'd, leave a seatbelt loose, which would be really bad for the company. No cybersecurity needed, just physical security. And Snapback to Reality says he sent Jarrett a message. I don't know if you have your phone or have your ability to read it, Jarrett, but we will check it out after the show, unless you have it pulled up. I don't know.
Yeah, I got it pulled up.
Okay, what's the message?
He said, you guys, especially you, Jarrett, well, thank you. Heal me with NASCAR. The last few weeks haven't been the best. I had multiple suicidal thoughts and was able to talk about it with my mother, and now I feel better, and I love to participate in the NWP stream. I feel lonely watching NASCAR alone and talking with just myself, and was able to get two cousins of mine who know NASCAR, and we watched together and the awesome Atlanta race. It was one of the best days of my life, and my mom said she'd never seen me talk so much. As a Brazilian NASCAR fan, I thank you guys and other content that I watch. Loving thank you to keep me alive in this world. Not trying to force myself on the show, but I really want to show you guys how much the damn website went down. Sorry. It went down on my end, so I didn't see the rest of it, but we really appreciate it.
Yeah,
and
wow,
we appreciate you.
stuff.
Your name kind of does the same thing to us. We snap back to reality a little bit. Have to kind of step back after that.
Yeah, for sure. No,
Feel
really
bad it went
appreciate
down.
that. Thank you for the message, and glad to hear that y'all enjoyed Atlanta. I know NASCAR. I mean, anything's more fun when you can share it with other people, and so that's really cool.
Absolutely.
You've had that opportunity.
We love seeing you in the chat each week, and that goes for all you guys out there. It's always fun to have 2 hours and 22 minutes currently to just get away from everything and talk NASCAR with everybody.
Yeah, always a good time. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Appreciate that message, and we'll wrap up with Parker Miley, who recommends Hard 8 for good Texas barbecue. Another one I still have not tried. There's so many good barbecue places that just seemingly keep popping up out of nowhere. On that delicious note, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Powerful stuff at the end of the show. Really appreciate you all tuning in. Hope to see you next week on the Iceberg, March 11th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Next Wednesday, we'll be on Jarrett's channel. Hope to see you there. Everyone enjoy Phoenix. IndyCar, NASCAR, doubleheader. Should be a good time. We'll catch up with you again soon. Have a great rest of your night, folks.
Drivers, start your engine!
Be plenty of carnage up. Full head on them. Wound up. Yeehaw, boys. Holy.
It's a junkyard.
Spend too much time hitting people. Chill a second. No gas, gotta hang talk here. Don't overdrive. Just let me do my job.
10 times. I don't care if I wreck the whole field. I'm over him. He's just a moron.
That was an absolute bullshit. Not clear.
I tell you, Mama ain't raising no.
What the f*** are we doing out here? People are saying, just racing like idiots.
I don't care. Just let me drive.
What is he doing?
This is embarrassing. What a clown show.
Did you ever think you would see